Are we live? Am I streaming to my own channel? No, we're live. Sweet. Hello. This isn't... What are you talking about?
What I see when you're streaming to me right now is the stream.
Are you sure?
That's what is screen sharing with me right now.
Oh yeah, that's screen sharing, but the stream is good. Okay. Hi from Peru. Hello, Peru. Congratulations on your infamous boys. I feel like they're my boys too, though, because Peru and well, I should say South America and North America we've been brothers for so long in the Dota scene. One in the same. What?
My favorite thing to say is that this is the most American team in TI. You have to think about it.
That's true. /hide chat. What does that mean? Okay. So, if I click to these other things, will it ruin where your face is? No, it won't. Cool. Discord's great. Okay, cool. Okay, I gotta change the title. This is Alchemy Replay Review Live. Which number is this? Do we put a number usually?
No.
Okay. We will review your reviewing Dota replays.
You gotta change the thumbnail too.
Oh shit. Alright, I got one. How triggered are you, Donnie?
I just feel bad for all of our production quality.
Elevated is harder to hear. Okay, let me turn them up. Talk elevated?
Yeah, what do you want?
Oh, it's not even work. It's just straight up not working.
That's not working. There's no sound coming through.
It's picking you up on my mic. That's not.
No wonder.
That's not good. All right, I got this.
Holy shit, thank you.
Dude. All right, talk.
Yep.
There,
Testing.
there
1,
we
2,
go.
3.
There we go. How's that sound, guys? I'm sure it's good. Okay. Better? Sweet.
Cool.
Okay.
Good stuff.
All right. Let's very low voice. I can't tell. Some people say that it's really low and it's just their computer. It's really. I've had that with streaming sometimes. Really. What's a derivative of lon X? Lon X. Owned. I think. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
what it
pretty.
is.
What a nerdy thing to talk about.
It's some like high school math stuff right there.
Yeah.
Fucking plebeian high school math students. So let's see. Post replays here. Okay. So when was the last time we did this?
I don't know. A week ago, maybe?
Was it a week ago?
No, it was probably 2 weeks ago,
I
because
think
last week was TI.
Jungle Jam.
Yeah.
So the 14th. I guess the only problem is there might not be.
I mean, if we didn't get to it, it's probably too late. So just do it. Recent stuff.
Sure. Okay. Okay. So we'll go to the first replay here. Do you see my Dota?
Yeah.
Okay. I believe every time I download a replay, I'm gonna need to stop. Oops.
I was gonna crash every time.
Yes. I need to stop sharing screen with you. All right. Let me see if I can get you back there. There you are. Okay. Let's see if this works. This is not working.
How much more do you appreciate me handling all of this from now on?
Okay, I did this fine by myself, just FYI. I'm just saying that the problem is that I can't download replays while possibly while streaming. It's a PC issue. It's a big PC issue. So okay, so Henrik, your replay unfortunately not downloading. This next one also not downloading. All right, I'm gonna go to the 29th.
Yeah.
Because
just don't do anything that's not 7 days old or newer.
Yeah. Sorry, we skipped it during the TI week, so. Okay, this one's working. Good, cool. Alright, cool. So this was, so I'm gonna share screen again. Turn on screen share.
Yeah, right now I'm just staring at myself. Feels weird.
You see it?
Yeah.
You're good? Okay. Make sure the stream is good too, because there's no way that I can keep all of this up at once. This is too much. Okay, so this is Kinryoku says, I played Vengeful Spirit this game. I played with an Alchemist safe against an Undying Bristle. This is very hard. Can't do much as Venge. Teammates ended up felming me. Nice misspelling. Loser. He meant flaming. But I did not have quite a good idea on what to do. I tried to ward to solo so Alt could farm, but I also missed some important fights. Laning stage. So he wants to look at laning stage in mid-game. There's a lot of explanation of stuff that happened, but...
Yeah, this is going to be a tough game. You can just already assume that based off of the drafts.
We'll see. I didn't look at the drafts, so...
I mean, Alk Venge against Bristle and Dying. So, unplayable lane. There's absolutely nothing you can do to make this lane playable.
I can tell you what you do. You use your Howl to stack the jungle for Alchemist.
Yep.
And then you have the Alchemist leave and just sack the lane.
Yeah, you leave the lane at like level 3. Your Alchemist leaves the lane at like level 3.
You can hear motorcycles in the background. Yeah, it's because there are motorcycles in the background, dude. Sucks to be me.
Little known fact. Jenkins lives in like Mad Max territory, so there's people like buzzing by all the time.
I really do.
Fighting over water.
Lots of murdering going on. Okay, so you are Venge, Alchemist, offlane you have Slardar Pudge. Oh, that's a core Pudge and boots first. Support Slardar. That's interesting. They have a carry Potom. I feel like this is a really easy game for you to win if you just don't lose horribly in the first.
If you don't feed for like 10 minutes, you're probably fine.
Yeah, you just need to not feed. I mean, mid even you have a Storm, which is like a better late game hero than Lina, and then Alchemist. Like all of your lanes have better late game. Even like Pudge core is probably better than Mirana late game, honestly.
Yeah.
So we'll watch. I'll speed this shit up. And y'all are good mannered. And by y'all I mean the enemy team, and by good mannered I mean they're unpausing. But okay, so starts with the Sentry. Let me see what the MMR is. What's Kinryoku's MMR? So ancient, pretty decent. High ancient.
Yeah, it's probably like 4,300, something like that.
It just it's interesting to see like what, because if somebody's doing ancient level tactics, like for instance, starting with Sentry, I actually think 3K players don't usually do that.
Yeah, they
Something
don't.
like that. You can kind of tell from the little things what bracket it is. You know what? That might be an interesting series actually. Watch a team fight and guess what bracket it's in.
Sure.
Dude, tell me that's a sick idea. That's a sick idea.
I don't think you should start with the Sentry in this lane, actually, to be honest.
Why?
Just because I don't feel like being able to unblock your camp is going to do anything. I kind of feel like you should just like.
I think it is.
I don't know. I think having a Mango doesn't make any sense because you're not going to use your spells.
What would you get instead of a Sentry?
I would just get more regen and give it to the Alchemist.
That's what the salve was for. Just kill yourself for support.
No, I'd get more regen and give it to the Alchemist.
No way, dude. I totally disagree. I feel like you need a Sentry in every single safe lane, no matter what. Like the pull is just too broken. If it's a hard lane, you just pull. You just chain pull. If it's an easy lane, you just stack and pull. It's like always pulling is how you play the safe lane.
I don't know if I like pulling against this lane because they're just gonna dive the Alch and kill him.
They're not gonna dive the Alk and kill him. No,
They
you
have a-
single pull. You single pull and kill the camp, so it sends a double wave into them. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's like 2 seconds that the camp is there, and then it's gone.
Sure.
Trading with this lane is no bueno. There's
Yeah,
no
it's
fucking
impossible.
way. No fucking way. Actually, one suggestion that I do have, and this is like a 7K support thing that even like 6K support 5-roll supports don't do. So what's the point in really being up here at level 1?
There is none.
You got 2 runes anyway, right? Like this shit is impossible to play against up here. So why not go bot, kill somebody at this rune, kill again, and then TP top after the lane shoves out? Because what do you do here to help the Alchemist on the first wave? All he's going to do is pull the creeps into the tower and farm anyway. So why not give him a free level 2? You know, you're actually soaking experience up here. If you watch like 90% of 7K 5-roll players, they almost always start as a tri lane for like 10-20 seconds. And then they TP after this lane is shoved out. You have to abuse the fact that this equilibrium is pushed up so far.
Yeah, to be fair, he did secure a bounty rune by stunning and stealing it.
Yeah, but they got 2 bounty runes, and they could secure this one. Like honestly, these 2 heroes.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. You could get 2 bottom instead of 1
Right.
bottom, 1 top.
Right.
Yeah.
Like especially with an Alk, just guaranteeing 2 bounties is legit, and then Alk could like wrap around top. But I don't know. I don't really give a fuck about what Alk does. It's the whole package, right? It's like the fact that you'd be giving him level 2 for free. It's the fact that you'd be pressuring bot for free. It's the fact that you'd be guaranteeing both of these runes. You could probably first blood. I saw Ike's Mike do this in a game. I talked about this in a coaching session that I did yesterday. I saw Ike's Mike do this. The guy's like ranked 60 as a support right now, so insanely good 5-roll play to actually rank up. But anyway, so he started a bot, kills somebody at the level 1 rune, secures 2 runes, and then just sits in the trees here and waits, and then kills the guy again. And I just watch a troll warlord walk all the fucking way back to lane, and it's the saddest thing ever. It's so pathetic. It just ruins the lane
like right off the bat.
It's so game winning. Because what's the point in this? Like this
none.
is an undying bristle. There is
huge
nothing.
waste of time. The other option, I completely agree. I think that's probably the best play. The other option that you could do, because you are up here, is to not play under your tower, but play like behind the Undying and the Bristle, so like on the other side of them, and try and distract them away from your Alchemist while he CS's, and that way you're not leeching experience. Because like right now what you're doing is you're just splitting experience with him, and that's like the last thing that you should be doing. You can't play this lane normally. You need to like basically distract the Undying and the Bristleback by making them chase you away from the creeps and allow your Alchemist to just get free last hits and free experience.
This is a mistake.
Yeah.
So you should be pulling right here.
Yeah.
You're not accomplishing anything by being up here. This is like one of those things where it might actually look better than this in a lower rated bracket, because people in Ancient have played the game for so long that they have this like idea of how you're supposed to lane, where it's like, oh, 2v2, you have to sit in the lane and on the equilibrium and harass and things like that. Like your mind gets like cemented these ideas where it's like not actually good in this particular situation. You being here does nothing for the Alchemist other than make it so that you're splitting experience, and the Alchemist is a core, so you prefer that he gets experience, unless there's a particular reason why you think that for some like sick play later you need experience, but then he shouldn't be splitting experience with you, and that's more of like, you know, that's like something tier 1 teams would come up with, is like supports getting experience. Generally you just have the core get experience if you're going to provide nothing in the lane, and then you can pull this. And when you pull this, sure, he's going to be under the tower for 2 seconds. He can run into the trees here. There's no fucking way they're going to kill him. He just QBs through the trees here. If he dies, he's an idiot. And then that'll send a double wave into them, which means you can pull this next or pull this next. And you're just going to slowly get an XP lead that way. And then also, the great thing about sending a double wave into them is they can't pressure you on a double wave because there's 2 creep waves. So they'll take a lot of damage if they do that. And then the creep equilibrium will be way up here, which means that you can pull these camps. Like, the general rule of thumb is, are you going to lose the lane? Single pull. Are you going to win the lane? Stack and double pull. Pull the stack camp. That's it. That's safe laning. It's really easy. And once again, this is just an Ancient thing. This is like, you've played the game so much that you have this concept of laning, and it's totally changed. This static laning bullshit doesn't happen anymore. Stop doing this and you've got 1,000 MMR. I guarantee you. This is not how you lane anymore. You don't just sit there and right-click people. You identify whether the lane is won or lost. If it's won, you bully, and then you do the double stack and pull. If it's lost, you just pull. You don't soak XP, especially with an alchemist. Like, there's no fucking way to play this lane. But you have an alchemy team, and it's a pub, and there's no really good counters. This should be a free win if you guys don't abysmally fuck this up. Like, this is
like what you're doing right now.
Pardon?
Like what they're doing right now is abysmally fucking this lane up. I think that it's really important that you basically make the call immediately, like, to yourself, and just recognize that the entire purpose of this lane is just to get Alchemist to level 3 so you can get jungle. Like, that's the only thing you can do in this lane is get Alchemist to level 3 or 4 quickly so you can go jungle. And what's the best way to get him to level 3 or 4 early is to give him solo experience for the entire first, like, 3 minutes of the game. I
would say that like if this is like a scrim replay and I'm watching this with my team, we stop watching at this point, because like this lane has already been fucked up, where you could have done things to make the lane like 1,000 times easier, but now like anything that happens after this point is just it's like it should have happened in the first place, you know, because there's like easy solutions. Like, all you need to do is go into the next game and then do the things that we talked about. And then after that, like, we can see what other mistakes there are. But the mistakes after this are just by virtue of the lane being insanely hard for the first few minutes. And 2 minutes in Dota, especially level 1 Dota, is like just like, this shit is crazy, man. This shit is super crazy.
Yeah, and I want to be super clear. Like you got a kill on Bristle. You killed the Bristle. You might even kill the Undying. It's not good. It's still bad. So, you know, don't pat yourself on the back that you got these kills, that you were able to like defend your Alchemist under tower, because you shouldn't even be there. Like, there should be no defending the Alchemist.
You can do that while pulling as well. Like, there's no way that there's very few situations in which you'll watch a pro replay where they won't have either pulled this camp already or stacked it, unless it's like blocked and there's 4 rolls doing insane blocks on it. But that is step number 1 of being a 5 roll support, is in the first 3 minutes. Like, I don't know what if you agree with this, Donnie, but I feel like when it comes to learning Dota, it's pretty effective to just like go over the first 5 minutes and figure out how to just make that as good as possible, and then the next 5 minutes, and then the next 5 minutes, and slowly like chip at it that way, because the later and later the game gets, the less situations you're going to be in where the stuff that you learn is actually relevant. You know what I mean? So like, learning the early stages of the game is very important. Apparently my mic volume is really low. So basically what I'm saying here is that I guarantee you, if you utilize this camp more, and just to reiterate, if the lane is hard, single pull. If the lane is easy, stack it at the 2 minute mark, and then just keep pulling. If you just do that, your games will be 1,000 times easier, and then we can start talking about like the mid game and stuff like that. But
yeah, if you look at it, it's 3 minutes into the game. You haven't stacked any camps. That's missing out on like 500 gold for your Alchemist. Like, legitimately 500 gold. That's a huge deal.
You could pull this and then stack this. That's possible. But honestly, like, if I was coaching you, I don't want to talk about the stacking after we like hammered. Let's say, like, hypothetically, you know, I'm coaching you every single day. It's like we would work on this, and then I'd say, like, go pub and just go use this camp and tell me how it feels. And they'd be like, oh, this feels really good. I'm winning more lanes. Okay, now let's talk about stacking, you know?
Yeah.
Like, now that you're winning lanes, like, here's when you can leave the lane while you're winning to go stack. Because right now, this is a totally chaos lane. You're rolling the dice and hoping the enemy team fucks up and feeds you. And, you know, obviously you want to just consistently win Dota, because that's the whole goal of, you know, getting better at the game.
Yeah, so, I mean, I legitimately think that you guys could be like 1,500 to 2,000 MMR higher than these two players, and you would still lose this lane. That's how bad it is.
Look at this. Ugh.
So, I mean, I actually don't think that there's any point in watching this anymore.
I think so. I think I basically just use that pull camp. There's 0 pro replays that you'll watch where they're not using the pull camp, unless it's like a tri-lane versus tri-lane, and there's a specific reason that they're not pulling the camp, where they're choosing that it's not worth it, and that's very rare.
Yeah, and the last thing I do want to say is, you know, use the pull camp, go stack the jungle, and then don't even go back to that lane. Just allow your alchemist to get experience. Go to the mid lane, buy a smoke, and gank the Lina. Give your Storm a good gank, because your Storm is going to be the tempo. He's going to be the tempo that allows Alk to farm until like 20 minutes, and then Alk will carry you.
I would say also like a lot of stacking would be good. Just stack for the Alk. One second, I'm going to turn some gain up on my microphone. Turn this on. Hello, how's that? Is that better? That's probably better. My mic's kind of far away. All right. I'm not trying to like avoid looking at mid game and stuff in your replay. I want to assess your replays like I would assess mine. Like I'm not going to be dishonest with you, and because you know you want me to watch the mid. Like I want people to get better. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to be a dick about like not going over the mid game. I really do want to. I just know that it's a very like consistent thing amongst like tier 1, tier 2 pros that there's no value in looking at replays past the point of like fucking it up a bunch, where like you could have done something. Like most people will not keep watching because I've even heard the team secret. They play the first 10 minutes of a scrim, and if it's not going well, they'll just call GG, whether or not like they lost or whether or not they could win or lose, because they think that like there's a certain way that they wanted to play the first 10 minutes, and if that doesn't work out, then they just go next. It's just I don't want to like I guess propagate like the wrong mentality when it comes to looking at replays, because I feel like that's the opposite of what we should be doing on the channel. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some value to going a little deeper, and like, you know, because everybody's going to make mistakes, so you need to learn to be able to come back from those mistakes. But when it's something that's so easily fixable and basic as just pulling the camp and then not leeching experience, like that concept alone will change the entire course of the game. So it's kind of impossible to fix that mistake if you make it over and over.
Have you guys ever tried snorting wasabi? I actually have snorted wasabi. I've actually done that. I'm that guy. Okay, so half Gemini.
Like $5 from your friends.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, that was actually one of the most regrettable things that I've done. Snorting wasabi. That hurts a lot. Anyway, half Gemini says, I played Mirana this game. I felt like I was doing great during the laning phase, remembering advice both of you gave me during regarding early aggression. I also tried being as active as possible, bringing wards everywhere I can so that I can ward after a fight. Decided to get a Maelstrom because I felt like we were dumpstering them and got greedy. Really felt bad after losing because I felt like I could have done more. Your thoughts on my item build / rotations would help me a lot. By the way, I'll just be reviewing the replay review after it's done. Cool. Okay. Awesome. Well, that's good because we fucked up and we didn't do it yesterday. So that's perfect. All right. So we're looking at our boy Fart on Mirana. And this is, what's that badge? Legend bracket.
Vincente Solari asks, if you single pull without stack, then a double wave will go under their tower and close to it, and your carry won't be able to last it that easily. That's fine. You want the wave to leave, and then you pull the next one. And you basically are sacrificing like a little bit of last hitting for not feeding in the lane.
How are you gonna last hit when they're dumpstering you? Like that's the whole idea.
Yeah.
Is that you're choosing to like get something instead of nothing. It's like you don't do that. You don't do that in situations where you can get a lot out of the lane. It's like that's a tactic. That's the tactic you use when it's like when the lane is really fucking hard.
Yeah, it's the off-lane approach. It's get something instead of nothing. And that's really important. Like, it's that quote again from Yawar that people just have an issue learning how to lose lanes. They feel like every lane is supposed to be
in North America. He was criticizing North America for that. Which I think in North America it's true, but also just a lot of lower level pub players are guilty of that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I'm not dumpstering this guy. I need to go do something. No, it's like, no, you should try to figure out, like, you're supposed, people can't grasp the concept of, like, supposed to being in a losing lane.
Yeah.
Invoker Necrophos dual lane. All right. Okay, so Gemini wanted to look at itemization and rotations. So
I don't know why you're arrowing the creep wave. That seems really terrible.
I don't know, like push the lane, I guess. So first things first, I would say, okay, so I don't know, what's the warding situation like? Is there just wards in stock? No? Who bought the wards? Can you buy wards with these items? You're 5 Mirana? Alright, that seems like a problem to me already, being a 5 Mirana.
Yeah.
And then you said you want Maelstrom. I think if you're a 5, you should just have sentries, and that's it. Sentries and wards. Maybe like a stick, if you're lucky.
Sentries, wards,
Bracers.
dust, an urn, perhaps.
So already, I think you're playing 4-roll from 5, which already is going to lose you a lot of games. Like, there's a reason that this, the 5-roll has been distinguished as it is. Is that the word? I'm sure that works.
I guess defined.
Defined, yeah. People don't just do that because it's fun. It's really good to have somebody do that.
Yeah.
So I mean, mechanically, you're doing good shit, but the unfortunate thing with Dota is a lot of the time it doesn't really matter. So this is one of those situations where I would say that the lane is shoving out, and instead of stacking this, you want to stack this, so that way you can pull the lane back.
And fully deny the wave.
Right, and you're winning the lane, so you can definitely get away with this. So the pull is good, but I think if you stacked it, like you're sending them a double wave in a winning lane, which is really unfortunate. It's giving them shit when they should have nothing. And yeah, you're killing them, which is cool, but you could be doing the same like epic mechanical plays while also denying them waves. So
yeah, you're killing them, which is cool, but your PA also has 12 last hits while their anti-mage is 20, so that's an issue.
So this, you can see here, like, this play is what I recommend whenever the lane is losing. So you're sacrificing like a free farm killing lane instead of sacrificing like a shitty lane to get a little bit. So you're actually like detrimenting your team by single pulling in this situation.
Yeah, anyway. It's also really important to recognize what's going on in this lane, which is that if Necrophos is even with your melee core, then he's going to destroy you. If the Necrophos is behind your melee core, then your melee core is going to be able to probably pressure him out of lane.
Yeah, so, Necro's a really snowbally hero, actually.
Yeah, so it's really important that you just focus on getting your core a lead, especially when you're a hero like Mirana who wants to rotate and gank. So you want to be able to leave the lane. And the best way to do that is to get your guy to the point where he doesn't need your help.
I mean, your mechanics are good on Mirana. Your mechanics are really good, but I almost never have issues with people's mechanics.
Yeah.
People typically, when they're playing a hero that they get, they typically just are good. Just as good as like 7K players. It's usually just like lack of knowledge that's a problem.
Poor strategy. I mean, you're winning this game. You have 8-4 kill score, and you let them have all 4 bounties for whatever reason, which makes no sense.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem. I see a lot of Miranas just spamming the Moonlight Shadow every time bounty runes spawn, just to get bounties.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this looks like one of those games where it's like you're playing a comfort hero, you get a bunch of kills, but you spend the entire game focusing on getting pickoffs instead of actually getting objectives or getting
right, like this.
Farm or
what does this shit accomplish here? Why not be down here helping this guy who you actually had a siege wave and he's a dumbass, so he denied it. But you guys could have taken this tower if you just walked at the bottom tower.
Yeah.
Whenever you're making a rotation, it's never for kills. 100% of the time, never for kills, unless there's an alchemist. And even that's about denying his farm. It's not even about killing him. Like, if you rotate here and get no kills, but take the tower, that is the purpose of the rotation. So, if you're rotating for kills, the kills should be tertiary to the objective.
Yep.
So if you're asking about rotations, that's what I would say, is focus more on why you're actually making the rotation. What objective are you getting for it? Where are you pressuring? Why are you pressuring? It's not about getting a kill. It's about getting an objective. And you had an opportunity to take this tower at 10 minutes. And now,
which, if you think about it, then cuts down to where anti-mage can farm.
Of course.
Opens up how much farm you have, and it basically shifts maybe 20% of the farm towards your team, which is way more beneficial in the long term than getting one kill.
This game is so easy if you take this bot tower because your PA is free farming top, so you guys can just occupy this bot area of the map and push the anti-mage out, and the anti-mage has to go triangle, but then where does everybody else farm if the PA is protecting the top area of the map?
Yep.
Very little place. So you take the tower finally, 13 minutes. It's 3 minutes too late, which the speed at which you play Dota is a very big differentiator between higher rated and lower rated players. So if you can get
Also-
a tower earlier by doing a little trick, then that's
14 minutes in, and there's one ward on the map. That's also pretty unacceptable. So somebody needs to buy wards, and somebody needs to. I mean, the whole point. It's like it's kind of a linear progression. You take the bottom tower, then you ward the places where the other team's going to be farming, because then you can pressure them out of the places where they want to be farming, and then you win the game because you have more farm than the other team. But right now, you took the bottom tower, but you have no idea where any of their heroes are because you have no wards. So it's almost as if you didn't take the tower because they have no pressure. So take an objective, and then actually, like the whole point of
use it
taking
to
the
get
objective
something
is
out of it.
yeah, the point of taking objectives is so that you can expand your control. It's like kind of like playing Risk,
Oh, I was gonna say that. It's like Risk.
right? Like you make an incursion into enemy territory, and then you solidify your position there by warding it, and then that's how you like restrict where they can get farm, and that's how you win games. You restrict the enemy team's farm, and then you end up with more farm, and then you can win fights.
One thing I do want to just talk about, and the funny thing is because I'm literally about to say that it's not worth talking about, but deaths like this. The reason I want to point this out is because I know that a lot of lower than immortal players in a lot of low immortals, so like rank 1,000 immortals, will look at things like this and like think of this as their big mistake in the game. But this is often not like if you're on a pro team and this happens, this gets ignored by a good team because it doesn't fucking matter. Like this is just a dumb death. This was stupid. You were stupid. You know you were stupid. I know you were stupid. Anybody that does that knows that it's stupid. Not worth talking about. You know, that's like, but this is what people obsess over when they're looking at replays. And that is always a problem to me, is that people look at shit like this. These exact plays, I'm glad that we finally like have something right in front of us to look at. These exact plays. Whenever I say there are like things that bait you in Dota to like talk about the wrong things, it's shit like this. Where it's like, that's just silly. But I'm going to do that too as a 7K player. Donnie's going to do that too as a 5K player. Every fucking person does that because, you know what? We're humans. We're fuck-ups. We fuck up. And we just laugh at ourselves whenever we fuck up. And Dendy fucks up. And Seb fucks up. And everybody fucks up. So that shit's like a super bait. And I always find that so many people are always like, oh, that shouldn't have done that one time at the rune. But the question would more so be like, if this rune shit is a problem, it's not about dying here. It's more so like, I think the problem comes from being up top here in the first place. You don't want to respond to this pressure up here. This is a tower that's very hard to defend. Necrophos is a dead hero. He's usually a hero you don't want to play to because he just sits there and sustains. He's a cancer hero. You want to play away from him. They have an anti-mage, so they want to farm. So you want to invade their side of the map. The problem is like ever having come up here in the first place. It's not this silly, shitty death that happened here. It's being here in the first place.
Yeah, instead of being up here, you could be pressuring the mid tower and restricting their farm area even more. Like your PA shouldn't be here in the first place, but he is.
Well,
but he's essentially making space for your team by occupying a Tidehunter and a Necrophos, so you can use that information that two of their most important mid-game teamfight heroes are top, and you can go take mid, and then suddenly their anti-mage has literally nowhere to farm on their side.
Right, exactly. So like after this, like shit gets fucking weird and silly. But and honestly, PA holding top is like probably shouldn't be PA realistically. It should be like Kunkka or some unkillable hero. Maybe you holding top if the PA is not there already. But if the PA is holding top, it's pretty fine to have a guy holding the safe lane tower. Then it's like, all right, if they dive, then you go for them and you protect the tower. But you never really want to make active plays to the top area of the map because it doesn't do much. If you take this tower, what does it secure you? It secures you nothing because this bounty rune right here, which you would be securing possibly from this tower, still have to walk up to the high ground and a shrine right here to TP to. You don't secure any of this farm because there's this shrine, there's this tower here protecting it, there's this tower here people can TP to. It still doesn't make the map any more safe. Like generally, especially against heroes that you wanna pressure early like anti-mage, you want to take this tower, play in their jungle, and then take mid ASAP because that's gonna let you restrict the enemy team into the smallest area possible. It's
Yep.
also like subsequently easier to hold. I should start streaming again. I will start streaming again at some point. Matchmaking is fucked up, but anyway. So let's see. And yeah, I totally agree with what Donnie's saying, by the way, about the wards. I don't want to like gloss over that because I think that's an incredibly important point. There's no point in taking the whole point of taking objectives, like Donnie was saying, is to make an area of the map safe for you. And sometimes just taking the objective that makes it unsafe for the enemy team, but it doesn't make it safe for you. What makes it safe for you is the ability to walk in and place vision. And you're a 5, so if you die, it doesn't matter. But you can have like your Kunkka or Gyro or whatever farming this entire area down here if you place a ward on the high ground here, or maybe this one over here because it's a little harder to de-ward. There's plenty of places that you could have warded here. Anytime you're going to leave an area as a support, I would generally say like the map's probably going to move around you because there's only 5 heroes in the game. So you want to drop a ward because that area is going to become very quickly unsafe. Even they did it here, where they warded in their own jungle, which I think is legitimately good this game for them. I think this is a really high.
It absolutely is.
I think there's a really high.
It basically replaces their tower. It replaces their tower as a way to keep them safe because they know what's going on in their jungle. So
yeah, that's
what you want to do. Like
this is a
think
high
about your ward. Think about your ward as like placing another tower. Essentially, it's not quite the same value, but it basically creates another safe space for your team to play.
So either you'll know people are in here and you can play to them or away from them, or you'll know that they aren't there and you can play to the opposite area or away from them. All right, so let's look at itemization as like a final thing here. All right. Totally disagree with the Maelstrom.
Yeah, awful.
I think this does nothing. You have Gyro PA Kunkka, who also has a fucking Radiance in Crystallis. Let's look at I like
the idea of Greaves. I don't think
Mech Greaves is great. Yeah, that's fine. The only thing is it's kind of expensive. So let's see. Let's look at your damage done. So this Maelstrom did nothing. Look at your damage done compared to these other heroes. With a Maelstrom, you did less than half of every single one of your heroes on your team. Even the Tusk almost did as much damage as you. The Maelstrom does nothing. It doesn't speed up your farming speed either. Is your support Mirana. I think the play is like Force Glimmer, Mech, sure, is fine. But I would say Force Glimmer is better because they're way easier items to build as a position 5. And I'm going to take a wild guess and say your entire team has no Force or Glimmer. And they
all have damage. Every single person built damage.
So I do like the Mech, but having like one Force when there are no Forces is busted. Yep. Glimmer as well. Like, let's see. Do they have any detections? They have sentries on Rubik. He's going to die in fights. I guess this guy has...
They have Dust. Yeah, I mean, Glimmer is slightly less valuable this game because you're already a Mirana, so you have Invis, so people are going to be buying that more. But you definitely just should buy one defensive item. And
I see a lot of Miranas going Force. Support Miranas going Force.
Force seems good. I mean, the Mech into Greaves is also good. I think buying like a Medallion is fine.
Oh, Medallion would be sick. Yeah, Medallion's fucking amazing. I think that's definitely.
You can buy your team of Vlads, to be honest, because nobody else has it.
You can take Roche, man. You can take Roche if you get Medallion. That shit speeds up Roche by so much. I definitely think that's the play. One sec. Blow my nose. All right, we talked about enough in this replay.
Yep.
When do your parents go to bed? By the way, how many hours? How long do we got basically?
I've got probably another like hour.
All right, because in case y'all are wondering why Donnie looks like he's in a prison, it's because he is at his parents' house. So that's why he's there.
I'm at my parents' house in a small room off the living room, using my 10-year-old laptop.
Yeah.
So
if we have to cut it early, and we don't get to all the replays, which I think we will. We only have a few more. We can. I was thinking maybe we could do like another day, just like do it twice in 1 week, just to kind of catch up.
Sure.
Possibly, depending.
I'll be back before the next Thursday anyway. So.
Okay. So I'll share screen again with you there, bud. So here we have Eddie Mercury playing Crystal Maiden. Says, oh my god, you're against an Alchemist. So tell me how to take a mid tower better after taking safe lane tier 1. Enemy safe lane tower goes down at 9 minutes, so you can start from there. I love how specific Eddie Mercury is with these.
Dude, he's that's why he's going to be a very good player. It's because he takes this. If he can just get over his like self-deprecating way of thinking about his own play, he's going to be a very good Dota player.
You know what? I've recently come to terms with the fact that I need to blame other people more. And I know that sounds awful, but I mean I think I look at most games and I go too ham on like blaming myself to the point where like I fuck over my own confidence and have zero. I can sometimes have like zero confidence in like my opinions of the game, which is fucking awful in Dota. So like it is without a doubt a balance. You know, it is a balance.
Yeah, I mean, I think you need to go into every replay looking for your fault as the reason why you didn't win, but then I think you need to basically just like remove yourself from the actual results of the game. Just detach yourself from whether you won or lost the game, and that's like the freest way to think about how to get better.
Also,
Because
starting what?
Ultimately, it really doesn't matter whether you win or lose. The entire purpose of playing Dota and getting better at Dota is to make better decisions on a regular basis, and then winning will happen as a result of that.
Yeah, just consistency. It's hard to separate though from like your confidence, where it's like you fuck up a couple games and it's like, okay, I don't know if I'm. You can sometimes get baited into thinking like you're not playing well because you lost a few games. And then you lose confidence, and then you actually are not playing well, and it's like, well, fuck. Yeah, it's complicated, man. It's real fucking complicated.
It's a mental game.
It is.
It's a mental game.
It's hugely mental. Okay, love the starting items. Love these starting items, by the way. So
yeah, he said to start at 9 minutes, but
yeah, we can go. I think Eddie Mercury generally has very good laning, so which makes sense because we've talked about laning so fucking much. So 9 minutes into the game. You take the... Alright, so there is one thing that I do want to mention about this game, and I recently was coaching... I think he's a Patreon supporter, but he always does coaching sessions with me. His name is Noodle. He plays position 5. He's about 5k, and recently I started getting into like more complicated subjects with him as opposed to just like general Dota concepts. A lot of pro level play is like played based around certain heroes now, and it's a little bullshit because it feels like you should be able to have a flowchart for every single game that kind of works. But when there's an alchemist or a Meepo or any of these like heroes, which there's honestly a lot of them, and a lot of games are played around these like bullshit power spike heroes, like you've like some Void Tiny or you've some fucking Wisp carry. You have to know how to play around the specific hero. And I'm going to take a wild guess this game and say that you just lost to Alchemist. And if you lost to Alchemist, I don't care about any of the fucking tower taking bullshit or that sort of nonsense. It's just the Alchemist, probably. Like, that's what's going to be the problem that you want to focus on first. So we can definitely take a look at how to take this tower. But I would say that the number one thing that you want to do in this game as a Crystal Maiden is smoke at 5 minutes into the Alch's jungle, place 2 wards, not 1, and steal all of his fucking jungle camps. Leave 1 creep in each camp. I'm actually making a video on how to counter Alchemist later tonight. I have it all scripted and everything.
Frostbite all the large creeps.
Right, exactly.
Small ones.
And then just stalk him while he's like jungling and just Crystal Nova shit and steal last hits. Like you have to do that for a few minutes while your team takes towers. And Alk is one of those heroes where people tried to take towers, and that's the way of dealing with him. But you have to take his farm. You have to do both. Like, the hero's too good. So, allowing him to free farm these stacks right here, this is the problem. Nothing else in this game is going to be the problem. It's this. Watch his net worth.
Yeah, I actually, I watched like 10 Alk replays in the last couple of days because I was also writing a script on how to counter Alchemist.
Look at this. He went from being even with all of these heroes to almost 2k ahead.
Yeah, he's the only hero in the game that gets more out of the jungle than the lanes. So it's actually a mistake to play in the lanes against Alchemist. You need to play in the jungle. You need to play in his jungle. That's how you play against Alk. Like if you look at all of the high level pubs or all of the pro teams that beat Alchemist at TI, they basically all stop playing in the lanes and they play in the jungle. You have like 3 heroes just running through the jungle all the time. And there's always a ward on the triangle and a ward on the main jungle. And they kind of just let their creeps push the towers. Like they
it's
blast
so
away
fucking
once.
dumb, but it's the way. It's actually the way.
They like blast the wave once, and then they just go into the jungle, and they just play in the jungle, and they farm the jungle, because Alchemist, if you can force the Alchemist to play in the lane, it's actually better than letting him just play in the jungle.
This guy's about to take a massive steaming pile of shit on your chest. Like, look at this. Look at this, man. Look at this guy. Look how he's
extremely difficult now.
Accelerated. So he's already popped off. It's over. It's over. The problem with Sentry. Oh, you did Sentry block.
I don't even think that's good anymore. I really don't think that Sentry blocking camps is worth it. I thought it was, but I don't think it is.
When it was mid alch, it made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because he would like just ditch mid and farm, but in the safe lane he kind of can just do whatever he wants. Like he can go to the mid lane if the camps are blocked. You just give alch wherever on the map is safe, and there's always gonna be somewhere for him to safe. Like he can do shit like this, you know.
Yep.
You have to follow him. You have to follow him. That's the only way.
But this is better. This is better than him being in the jungle, because at least you know where he is.
Yeah, right? That's actually the thing. Is like losing track of the alch is often the problem. All right, so let's watch this mid tower. I want to watch this mid tower because he asked about it. So I'm just looking at the map.
Yeah, warding that jungle is good.
So you have a siege wave coming. This is when you could like smoke. A lot of the time when people go to take this mid tower, it's like smoking onto a siege wave with abilities. Unfortunately, you don't have your level 6. Rubik's about to get his level 6. I think he probably has the Tome in the Courier. You could still smoke.
You should also just call your Void to mid, and then you should all just go here.
Yeah, this guy's doing like the typical idiot carry thing where he thinks he's a carry player, but he's against a fucking alchemist, so if he's not active, you're just gonna lose. So you need to do whatever is in your power to get this motherfucker to leave this lane. Because this is terrible what he's doing. Oh, I'm gonna farm for 10 minutes against an alch. No, you go use this fucking spell, and you take every tower that you can, motherfucker. There's no way to beat an alchemist without being active. No fucking way. Everybody on your team has to be active. You have to rally the troops.
Yeah, I also think that you're only level 4. You should be frostbiting creeps while you're waiting to do stuff. Like, it's actually really bad for your team for you to be level 4 right now.
So this is a problem here. So you guys get this kill here on Lion, and this guy just walks off and does nothing, and then this guy walks off, and then you're just kind of chilling in this area. Somebody needs to be pinging to take this tower. Like, it's a silencer and it's a pudge. I don't think they can hold, and then there's an alch farming jungle. I don't think they can hold this tower. And there's a siege wave here. If the siege wave dies, and that is super sad that this wave dies, because this is your way of taking towers. This guy right now is being allowed to destroy the siege wave. And he's accomplishing like something very important on the map when he shouldn't be able to, because he just lost his support in the area.
Yeah. I mean, you should have a smoke. You should have called your Shadow Fiend and your Rubik and said, "Hey, let's smoke." And you smoke on your shrine, and then you run to mid and you kill them and you take the tower. So you're kind of wrapping in, which is fine. I think that you should place a ward behind their tower, kind of like where you're standing right now, and then, I mean, this looks okay, other than the fact that you lost your Rubik and your SF is tanking the tower for no reason.
You did this on a siege wave. It's so much better. The problem is that SF was really low HP and mana. Or sorry, it was low mana, but it doesn't really matter. Like, the point is you had a lead in terms of hero numbers, and the siege wave was there. So you
also need to ask your ogre to come. Like, your ogre is the strongest hero on your team right now, and he was just farming bottom. So you need to tell your team. Like, I know it sucks. You have to communicate with your team, but you have to ask your team, "Hey, I have a smoke. Let's smoke right now and take mid."
This is why people play like Jakiros and Shadow Shamans and shit in pubs, because people are too fucking dumb to, like, they're gonna play against. This is why Alchemist is so good in pubs too. Is because people are gonna play against an alch and do what this absolute moron is doing. Where it's, I'm gonna hit jungle. I'm a carry. Yeah, you're against a fucking Alchemist. This guy's gonna literally do nothing for the entire game because.
Yeah, he's not going to have enough damage.
He's not going to have... The alch's going to be perpetually stronger than him, and then stronger and stronger and stronger. So, pretty bad. Pretty bad. I hate carry players like that. Like,
from all the replays that I watched, it's basically a matter of a reasonable alchemist timing for Radiance is like 12 to 13 minutes. If you can make that 15 or 20 minutes, you basically win the game. So, I mean, obviously, the first problem is that we didn't have any vision in their jungle to stop him from farming stacks, and the second is that we didn't call our team and make them play together in the mid lane to take the tower.
Yeah. Now it's too late. Now, even if you have vision, the Alk is just strong enough that he can fight you.
Yeah,
So-
you basically at this point just have to like essentially just turtle. Like you basically just split push and turtle and hope that your void eventually gets to the point where you can outcarry the alchemist, which will happen at like 50 minutes into the game. But it's just kind of unfortunate that at 12 minutes you have to basically sack the rest of the game until 50 minutes.
This game is over. This game is over. Alk is such a fast hero. Like you have to be insanely fast against Alk. The way that you need to play CM versus Alk is leave your lane at 5 minutes. I kid you not, 5 minutes. Smoke into Alk's jungle and follow him around until your team is strong enough to follow him around. So you need to be on his dick for like 3 or 4 minutes at least with wards, and stop him from farming stacks. That's what you have to do as a position 5. And if this guy complains, you can tell him to go fuck himself because he's gonna be useless anyway because he's an idiot. So he should understand it's either that or you lose to Alk. This is why people will pick like a Bristle safe lane when they're running it when they're playing against an Alk, because the 5 has to leave to deal with the Alk. Yeah. So you just run for you just play some really easy safe lane hero where they're gonna be.
I mean, Void is one of them. Void's like one of the best carries.
Oh yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
He's super good against Alk like most stages of the game, but you also can't be like 10,000 net worth behind the Alchemist. Because no matter how good you are against the hero, if you're 10,000 net worth behind, you're gonna have problems.
Yes, that's why the Ancient Apparition and Timbersaw and these heroes are meme counters. Like you have to pick those heroes and also play them in a way that they don't really want to play, which is chasing the Alk around his fucking jungle at level 5. It feels so weird. It's
actually I was one of the replays that I watched was really good. Like Mirana is really good against Alk because you can constantly be invisible. And invisible heroes are super good against Alchemist because not only are you able to keep track of the Alk and ambush him in the jungle in the early game, but you also make the supports even more poor than they're already going to be because Alchemist soak up all the farm on the map. So that's one thing that I noticed. Like people were picking like Clinks and Mirana a lot, and it's a really good way to keep track of the Alk and also like punish his team.
Yeah, that seems pretty good. Also a hero that can like stalk the jungle and steal creeps and shit. Like, how do you stop Mirana from stalking you in the jungle? She sleeps away 3 times.
Exactly.
Yeah, that seems really good, actually. That's a good hero right now, too. CM's good against Alk, too, though, for the same reasons. I don't
think that your lineup is bad. It's just a matter of how you're playing the game.
You need to do the 5-minute smoke. That's really important. This guy's going to just cuck you soon. Like, this game is ridiculously hard. As for this mid tower, it's just, you need to smoke to it. You need to kill somebody and smoke to it, like particularly around siege timing, or with like 2 or 3 of your strong cores. The problem is every time that this tower has been assaulted, it's been with 2 weak supports in a core. You need to combine cores for this. Like if you watch like Gambit, for example, who is a team that plays really fast, a big way that they play really fast is they'll group 3 cores up at a tower at like 6 minutes, and that seems fucked up in a lot of games. Like in a pub, you might get flamed for that. But it's really good because there's very few heroes that can stop a tower push where there's 3 strong cores there. Or you have to like ruin your entire map to put 3 strong cores there. So that's just the nature of being a support. You either need to be a support who's really good at pushing, you need to be really strong, or you need to be a core. Or call your cores to do
I also find that people respond pretty well to smokes because they associate getting kills with it. So you can kind of just like bait your team into doing something good.
Right.
Like, hey, just smoke mid. And they're like, oh yeah, like ride or die, motherfuckers, let's go. And then basically all you have to do, right where you are, no, stop, zoom out for a sec. I want to show a place that you should be warding. Scroll up a little bit. Right there in that like crossroads is where you should place a ward. Because you keep track of people who are farming, you also can see behind the tower, and then that gives your team confidence that you can kind of like wrap around the tower and take it.
Yep. Vision's really important for taking towers. Now you're just getting cucked by Alk. That's going to be the rest of this game, I imagine. This timing is insane. There's no way to beat this. He's almost level 15 too. This hero's just stupid. This fucking guy just needs to be nerfed, in my opinion. Like this. All right, we're done with this replay. I think we talked about a good amount of decent shit. All right. Let me stop screen sharing again temporarily.
And most importantly, in that, I would say don't let that game like get you down because you're playing a hero that's awful against Alchemist, like for the most part against an Alchemist, and you're also playing a hero that just like historically is
A feeder.
not strong, like in any sense other than like as a team fighter, and your team is just not. I don't know. that's just a bad Crystal Maiden game. Period.
It's just an Alk game, man. You just have to know how to play against Alk. And hey, speaking of which, this is another fucking hero you need to know how to play around. This hero.
Is it Enchantress?
Yeah, although, hey, how'd you know? I wasn't screen sharing. It is Enchantress. Although our boy is on, Oh my god, that was a good day, man. That was 3 beers in this mug.
Yeah,
that was 3 beers. They were. It was a dirty, dark IPA. It was good though. It was good. Those were the good days. Okay, Lock Kappa says Wraith King baited into several bad fights. Tried to keep farming, keep up with PL because I noticed that he was off the map a lot and his timings were good. I didn't know I didn't have a kill, but I showed up to as many fights as I could. Probably more than I should have. I also realized that I probably should have bought a BKB before Blade Mail. I had some time to farm because honestly the score difference wasn't too bad. Basically, how were my movements around the map? What could I have done differently to alleviate pressure off our high ground? And how could we play the early game differently? I didn't want to try lane, but they insisted on it. Okay, we'll see.
All right. First of all, you should not be showing up to any fights as Wraith King.
Until you have Radiance.
If you want to learn how to play Wraith King, you should go watch Hector K1 because he played this.
He's the only person that plays that shit. Nobody else
played
plays
it
anymore.
basically every game at TI, and he's definitely the best Wraith King player that I've ever seen.
He's the best Wraith King in the world, I think.
And he essentially ignores his team for 25 to 30 minutes, and that's how you play this game. So if you're showing up for fights, which you said you showed up for every fight that you could, you're inherently playing the hero wrong.
Yeah, this hero farms incredibly fast, and also it's kind of like I was doing some Broodmother coaching yesterday, and I was coaching Laka somebody. I think he's also a Patreon supporter.
Yeah, yes.
So I was coaching him on Broodmother, and he would show up to side lanes to fight, and there's this like misunderstanding that I think a lot of people have where it comes to like they don't want to let their team down. They don't want to let their team feed. They don't want to get flamed by their team, so they show up to fights. And I think that's a pretty reasonable intuition. Like, I don't think that's a bad intuition to have, but it's another one of those baits in Dota where the way that you should alleviate pressure from your team with like a Wraith King or a Broodmother is not by showing up to fights, but by forcing the enemy team to not be able to show up to fights. So you can let your team take like a 4v2 or a 4v3 because you're pressuring areas on the map so hard that they need to respond to it. Because this hero has skeletons, right? This shit like needs to be dealt with, or you take towers. And if they don't deal with you, then yeah, your team is going to feed in those fights, but you're going to take towers for it. So you're actually getting a trade, and that's how you want to play this hero rather than showing up to fights. Unless you have like a Radiance, then it's a pretty decent time to show up to a fight.
Yeah, when you have, I think in this game you still don't show up for a fight until you have Radiance and BKB because you're against the Zeus and AA.
Yeah. And this guy with like necro units possibly.
Yeah, so I think that showing up for any fight before you have BKB, Radiance, Midas is a mistake.
You can show up to them if they like look really good. I think maybe like one fight around the Radiance timing is pretty legit. I know like Hector does that where it's like he'll take one fight and then just fucking ditch. You won't see him for another 10 minutes because like it's a strong timing. Same thing goes for like when people play Medusa, they'll get like a Dragon Lance and then they'll take like one good fight. And then we'll go back to farming. It's just kind of like, this will go well. If it goes well, sure. If it doesn't go well, back to farming. It's not a huge risk to do that, but for the most part, like this game is going to be incredibly hard until you get a BKB.
Go back.
Hitting the ogre?
Yeah, it's like, why are you hitting the ogre?
Let's see what he has.
There's actually no point in ever hitting an ogre.
That's his job. He's loving life.
I'm okay with a tri-lane here, because there's a PL in your lane, so tri-laning here is fine, but you should not be hitting the ogre.
This is definitely just awful, like what these heroes are doing, though. Like, what the fuck is this lion doing?
He's trading.
Hit the creeps, man. Let your idiots do idiot stuff. Hit the creeps.
Yeah. Yes.
They need to just go pull. You just need to tell your sports to go pull, or you fucking go pull for them. What's going on here? What is this?
Yeah, stop attacking this PL. Just like I can't emphasize enough. Go if you want to play Wraith King, go watch Hector. He will not have right-clicked any heroes in this lane so far. I promise you.
Unless there are no creeps to last hit.
Yeah, he will not have right-clicked anybody if there are creeps present. So stop doing that. And that goes for every carry player out there. Like, carries spend so much time trying to get kills in the lane when all they have to do is just get the first, 10 waves of last hits, and then they're going to have an easy game. You should run over and pull the hard camp right now.
Somebody needs to pull. See, this is the thing. Okay, let's look at
this lane's over. I don't want to watch this anymore.
I'm not sure what the bracket is. Okay, so this is the thing in even in high divine bracket. This is the thing where there's just this fucking lane bouncing back and forth between the towers, and everybody's just rolling the dice on either side of where the lane's gonna go, who's gonna get kills, and it can be controlled, it can be structured, but there's zero structure to this. People are winning and losing lanes at literal random because at this MMR, nobody really thinks about matchups. Anybody in the audience, or Donnie, anybody, who wins a lane? Wraith King, Lion, Windranger, or PL Ogre? Nobody fucking knows the answer. Nobody's seen this fucking lane before. So there's no
tri-lane wins if you control the lane.
Well, still there's no epic oh yeah, mechanically if we do chain this into this into this and they don't get this off, then we're gonna win the lane. Nobody thinks about that. Nobody knows. But the way that you can win the lane every time, no matter what the matchup is by controlling the pulls and by controlling the equilibrium and abusing the fact that you have 3 heroes. Those are reliable things. You are rolling the dice because nobody knows what these heroes, who's going to win out of these heroes, or who wants XP, or who wants gold, and nobody's thinking about that. This is literally just, all right, we're just going to press all of our skills, they're going to press all of our skills, and we're going to fucking hope that it turns out for the better. That's what's happening here. That's how so many games happen. And people are just carried by luck and mechanics, and they just have a 50% win rate. This lane needs to be pulled back. You are a tri-lane. This lane needs to be pulled back, so that way you can abuse the fact that you are 3 heroes and zone them here. And then when it pushes out, you pull it back again. And you slowly get an XP lead. And then all of a sudden, when I ask the same question, who wins? A level 3 Lion, a level 3 Wraith King, a level 3 Windranger versus a level 2 PL and a level 2 Ogre. Well, that's fucking obvious, isn't it? That's fucking obvious. If only there was a way to guarantee that you knew the answer to that question. And there is.
How do you guarantee that? It's so hard.
You use the pull.
You can just pull.
This shit bouncing back and forth between the towers, I swear to God, every game that I watch from this bracket is like this. It's a fucking roulette table, man. It's roulette. Yeah. This shit is nuts. It's just I hope we kill them. I hope they fuck up and we press our spells right, and that our spells being pressed right actually results in their HP going below 0. I can guarantee you, man, nobody makes those calculations. The way pro players are calculating it is, hey, we have a level advantage. Let's go on them. That's how they do it. And they get the level advantage first.
When you actually think about it like that, how random it is. Because there have been plenty of times where I've played games and I've been like, how is this person in this bracket? They must have gotten here by sheer luck. And the answer is they did. they randomly appeared in this bracket because they play only games like this. And they've come out on 50.054% of them, and they've played 10,000 games.
Well, your mechanics will slowly but surely get better, and you'll slowly win lanes against players that are doing random shit because you'll be doing the random shit better than they do their random shit. So your numbers will work out to be better than theirs. So you can be carried by mechanics, and there are other things that people will understand, like map movement, or they farm really nicely, or whatever. There are things to tip the balance a little bit, but you can tip it so much more.
Yeah.
You can definitely tip it so much more.
Oh my god, your line is helping you last hit. What?
Team RNG is definitely real up until a point, but if somebody's like, "Oh, I'm randomly 3K MMR, or I'm 4K and not 5K because of my teammates," it's blatantly wrong and like misunderstanding. I swear to God, there's so many people that I've looked at that it's like, oh, there's, you know. By the way, going for this Vampiric Aura in this lane, it's
terrible.
It's just you. The ranged heroes don't get it.
It's also terrible. You just don't get it.
This is one of the worst abilities in Dota, actually.
Yeah, you never take that. You go 4-0-4. That's how you skill this hero.
Yeah. All right, let's see what else did our boy movements around the map. All right, he wants to
go to like 15, 20 minutes or something.
Hey, I like this. This is good.
Although you have no vision, you're completely alone.
You definitely want to. All right, okay. So here's a problem. Job done, already done. Yeah. You're already pushing this lane. If you are jungling this camp right here, let's say your skeletons miss every single last hit. They're a bunch of fucking morons. They miss every single last hit on these creeps. You get incredibly unlucky. You farm this camp, it's still the exact same amount of gold as this, except not dangerous. And you're denying them this camp to farm, and you're not being extremely unsafe. So the whole point of pushing out lanes as a carry is not to farm, it's so that you're not completely useless while you're farming. So once you spawn the skeletons, this job is done. You don't need to stand here and hit this.
Yeah.
This right here is like a misunderstanding of the purpose of pushing lanes. It's to get the enemy team to respond. You did that. What you did was actually fucking good. When we went to this, I said it. I was like, this looks good, man. But then the moment you sit there with your hero, that's displaying a misunderstanding of the purpose of hitting creeps. So you already did the hard part, was you were in position and you spawned skeletons pushing the lane. That is what Hector would do. Hector would not sit there and hit the creep wave because it is redundant. It is for farm where you can get the literal exact same amount of farm, if not more, in their jungle while also denying them this jungle farm. So you've already forced them back. Like, that was good. Just cut the second part out where you hit with your hero. Totally unnecessary. This alone, in my opinion, is a huge lesson. Like, if you can master split... This is all this hero does, is split push like this, and then show up to fights. So, spawn skeletons, run away. The faster, the better. In Dota, like, the way I like to explain it is, if you're in Herald bracket, 10 seconds. If you're on a creep wave for probably 10 seconds, enemy team will kill you. If you are in the next bracket above, 7 seconds. Next bracket above, 5 seconds. Next bracket above. You get all the way to Divine and Immortal, and all of a sudden, 1 or 2 seconds, maybe even half a second on a creep wave, and you're fucking dead. If you're against a tier 1 team, they know what a Wraith King wants to do, so they're going to have wards and kill you without even showing on the creep wave. So that's why the higher and higher you get at Dota, you're going to need to figure out different ways to deal with these different strategies of doing the exact same fucking thing. Exact same thing. So in your bracket, you just stay for too long. People in your bracket clearly respond to this too quickly. So do it faster. Do the exact same thing but faster, and you're going to win Dota. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, so I mean, either go farm their jungle, which Jenkins suggested, or, I mean, I feel like maybe at this bracket, or maybe the bracket right above this, people will know that you're going to take that farming pattern and they'll TP to the shrine and kill you. So another thing that Hector does very regularly
TP is to the opposite side.
He goes as close to their base as possible, and then he TPs all the way back to his side of the map and farms everything because he's done his job. The entire enemy team is coming to kill him in the mid lane, but then he leaves 2 seconds before they show up. So they waste all of their time coming back to their base. They sacrifice all of their map control that they had, and then he just goes and gets double the farm that he would have otherwise.
Yeah, that's the funny thing, is actually it gets you more farm. Because realistically, your skeletons aren't going to miss every last hit on that creep wave, right? So, why sit there and, I got to help my skeletons last hit. Nah, man, they do 1,000,000 damage. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it doesn't...
I mean, fuck the farm either way. Fuck the farm. Like, it's not about farm. That's the thing. It's not fucking about farm. So many people, I think, are baited into thinking that, like, pushing creep waves is because they give you more farm than the jungle. That's not why pushing creep waves is good. Pushing creep waves is good because it forces the enemy team to show themselves on the map. It forces the enemy team to their own sid of the map. It allows you to take objectives. There are a million reasons why pushing creep waves is good, and it's not because they give more farm. If you could choose to farm somewhere, if you're choosing just based off of gold and safeness to farm. You just sit in your triangle all day, but carries don't do that because it's just not effective at winning Dota.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you just want to make space for yourself. Like, so many people are like, I'm carrying, my team just doesn't make any space for me. Make space for yourself. Just push up.
Dota has evolved. People have leveled up their ideas.
Yeah.
Carries are space makers now. They are not space takers. They are space makers. Even an alchemist is a hero that people will run at lanes and push towers, and then once the enemy team responds, they run back to the jungle. Like that. This is such a common thing you'll see on alchemists, where he'll be farming triangle. He'll see that there's a bunch of people bot, so he goes mid, pushes it in. Somebody TPs, goes back to triangle, pushes in top. Like he'll do that because why not do that? Why not make space while also farming? You know, two birds, one stone. Anyway,
I wanted to ask, do you have any idea why people are Midasing small creeps now?
I should ask around because I see that's a very common thing. I'm actually not 100% sure. I'm guessing for they're trying to get gold. Like it's more
like gold's more important than EXP.
Yeah,
because I think we talked about this once, and we came up with like if you Midas a small creep, you end up getting like 2 large creeps worth of gold, whereas if you Midas the large creep, you just get like the large creep plus like 20 gold or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And the EXP is kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, it seems people want to get to like that big item or power spike quicker, essentially.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense. I think the heroes that are buying Midas are more carries these days.
Yeah.
Like they're power spike heroes.
Yeah, it's probably better to Midas the big creeps if you're
like an offlaner or something.
Or a hero that relies on like a specific talent timing, like a 15 or 20 talent timing.
Right. It's essentially like trying to get to the timing quicker. Like whatever your timing is, trying to get it quicker using the Midas or as quickly as possible. Or you're not going to lose because you have a Midas. All right. So let's see. Is Hoculiner in a party? No, he's not. So here we have Hoculiner. He says, "Help me stem the bleeding. It hurts." All right, buddy. How much MMR have you lost? Let's hear it.
I talked to him during TI at like a little watch party, and he said that he's lost like 1,000 MMR.
Oh my god. Oh, it doesn't surprise me. All right, Hoculiner. My very first piece of advice is you need to fucking fix your binge queuing issues, man. That's I solved mine. I'm not a binge queuer anymore, man. That's all you got to figure out. Well, once a binge queuer, always a binge queuer, but you know. All right, we'll see. So he didn't ask for anything in particular, so we'll just rip into it.
Looks like they just ran at each other for the entire game, and his team was weaker in the fights.
It does look that way.
I don't think you should ever die 16 times in a game of Dota. Like a normal game of Dota, you probably shouldn't ever have 16 deaths unless you're really messing up.
It's a lot of deaths. It's a lot of time spent dead.
Yeah, it really is.
16 times like 30 or 40, depending on the time of the game.
Yeah.
Goodness. All right, let's see. Is your camera covering anything on the screen, by the way?
I'm not sure. Let me look.
Reviewing. Oh shit. So.
Yeah, it's over the hero portrait, and it could move over to the left quite a bit.
Shit. It's
okay.
Been over that for quite some time now. All right. Okay, this is another Alk game. Fuck. So, God.
But it's on his team though.
Right. So the way you play around an Alk on your team is a lot different from how you play around an Alk on the enemy team. You
just reverse engineer what we talked about to counter the Alk.
Yeah, exactly.
So what does the other team want to do? They want to be in your jungle. They have Mirana. They have a Pudge. Those heroes want to be in your jungle. So just basically ward like the entrances to your jungle. Don't ward aggressively, ward the entrances to your jungle, and then just protect that.
God, Pudge is such a dog hero. He finds you still anyway. Okay, I actually have a piece of advice here. So, honestly, kill yourself. Hoculiner.
Yeah.
Just fucking off yourself. Like, this is something that I see a lot, even in like 6 to 7K games. You can ruin your entire game by using a TP scroll at level. Even if you successfully TP here, you have no regen. And it's worse to enter in, and this guy has no regen either. So you would much rather die and then bring Alk a bunch of regen than to waste your TP and have to like walk all the way back. This game already is fucked up. This game is actually already fucked up. This is fucked. Look at the 4 tangos.
You can't play this game
3
anymore.
tangos. This game is already fucked.
You can't play this game anymore. I kind of want to go back to the first replay that we looked at, and I think that you should just go top. I don't think you should even go to the bottom lane.
Right.
You should just tell your alchemist to sit in the trees and don't even contest the runes.
Don't even try. Why bother?
Yeah.
So you just go up here, kill them at the rune, maybe kill again because you've Dazzle Axe. Like honestly, your damage is insanely strong. This guy even went Battle Hunger level 1.
I mean, there legitimately is no weaker hero at level 1 than Alchemist. Period. He doesn't have an ability. He goes Grievel's Greed every game, and so he does nothing. There's no hero that you can put with an Alchemist that will make that duo stronger than 2 other heroes. It's just not possible.
It doesn't.
Because he's actually the worst hero in the game at level 1.
So yeah, being down here in the first place is the mistake. And then this, like TPing, I think you just run to the tier 2 and off yourself. First blood doesn't even matter. It really doesn't even matter. What matters is like having regen for the lane. I've ruined so many of my own games doing this shit too. I just don't TP anymore. I just fucking kill myself. Even if it gives first blood. Yep. It is so much more worth it to come back into the lane with regen. Now you have to walk. Look how sad this is.
Yeah.
Oh, and Alcu's the courier. Oh my god. To send out a single salve. All right, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch you, Hockey Leader. I'm gonna watch you walk with the courier. What is the point of this? Get him to put this on you.
Oh my lord. This is so sad, dude. So sad. Oh my gosh.
Alright. So this game already has been extremely fucked up in the first 54 seconds of the game. Like, oh my god. What a disaster.
It really is.
You need to say, hey Alchemist, man, I'm feeding. It's for you. I didn't fuck up and, maybe I should have gone top. Doesn't matter. This was intentional. Feed to the tier 2. I'll bring you some regen, Alk. And then you TP in, bring him regen. Boom! This game is normal. It's not this shit where you're back in the lane. They had a free lane for a minute. Alk has 3 tangos. You have 4 tangos. And Sand King is almost level 2. They're both almost level 2.
Yeah.
And then your mid didn't get to use the courier. So he's just so mad right now.
Yeah, this is a pretty unfortunate state of affairs. Where are your wards? Why is there no ward on the power rune? You don't have any wards on the map at all. I don't know why.
I guess I don't mind that if you're gonna go check the rune yourself.
Oh, I guess there is one ward mid and it's on the power rune. But I kind of feel like if I was playing this game, I would want to keep track of where the Mirana is, and so I'd probably put a ward somewhere that Mirana might be rotating mid. Maybe at the mouth of your jungle, maybe on your bounding rune, maybe on the power rune in the bottom lane. And again, I think that basically the entire purpose of this lane is not to lane against them because you have an alchemist on your team. So there's just no point. It doesn't matter. Harassing doesn't matter in this game. Your entire purpose in this game is to get to your alchemist to like level 5 and then have him leave the lane. That's just how it's played.
Yeah, you should pull right now. That's what you should pull. There's a minute where you didn't pull here. So the first 2 minutes of this game have been absolutely horrendous.
Disaster. It's been a complete disaster.
And I love that it's Hockey Leaner because I know he likes to hear this stuff, but this has been fucking awful.
Yeah,
this has
it really
been
has
terrible
not been good.
up until this point. And I'm sure there's a lot of tilt involved with this. He's definitely on autopilot because minus 1,000. But like this shit should be just pulled or stacked. Yeah. There's no point in the lane is this far up. You have an alchemist. You're not going to harass them. You're not going to really protect him. He's already protected. This should be pulled. Man, Hawk Illionaire, we talked about it, dude. Pull the range creep, stack the camp, pull the camp. Like, that shit is so good. You gotta utilize this camp. Makes the game a million times easier. It makes it a million times more consistent, I should say. It is so
Yeah.
easy to consistently win Dota like this. You're not relying on pressing your buttons epically to win. Look, you epically press your buttons on them, they epically press their buttons on you, and oh fuck, the calculations were wrong, they beat you. Well, guess what? No pro player makes these fucking calculations either, because it's impossible. You just pull and then get an XP lead, and then you're good.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. Like, you can protect your laning partner by out-harassing them, but if you're laning with an alchemist, you can't out-harass anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. So you just protect them by splitting up their heroes and making them have to run around and chase you and the creep.
Oh.
The courier's out here again? Why is the courier out here again?
Oh my god, this has been the most disastrous shit, dude. It's just like 3 minutes of complete fucking disaster.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If my early game goes this badly at this point,
you're just out of here, man. You're just fucking out. Go jungle.
No, I put a ward, an observer ward, basically where the Mirana's standing right now, and then I just go top and I stack the triangle and I harass their carry because there's nothing you can do in the bottom lane. And you just say, "All right, Alchemist, good luck."
I agree.
I don't think you should ever come back down.
I think I do want to say something. I do want to say something. You know, jokes aside, in a lot of the Alchemist replays that I've seen where people are losing with Alchemist, there's an awful lot of not stacking going on. And every time Alchemist is winning, there's an awful lot of stacks that he's farming. So I really think... It's pretty
binary, right?
Yeah, I really think that going over here and stacking this shit, just saying, fuck the bullshit that's happening, bot, we're going to come back in the jungle. You do that, you stack these, and then if you watch any team in TI9 play against Alchemist, what they do is they place a ward here, and they just stand here. Or they'll go to the lane, and if they think that it's safe to do that. But some teams, like if you watch OG, they'll just fucking stand here. They'll have the 4 take the lane or the 5 take the lane, and somebody will stand here and just let Alk farm the stacks. And you just let him farm, and he'll win the game for you. It's a broken hero. It's real easy.
Yeah.
The game is not normal when there's an Alchemist in the game. It is a totally different game.
Yeah,
this shit is what you do when there's no Alk.
Yeah. It's just kind of a misunderstanding of what it means to play with certain heroes. You know how back in the day it used to be when there was like a Spectre or an Anti-Mage on your team, it was a ticking time bomb? Alchemist is exactly the same thing. So
except it's like a 5-minute bomb.
Yeah, except it's faster.
Instead of like a 30-minute.
It's easier to play around. Yeah, you got to kill. It doesn't actually mean anything.
That's like one jungle camp. That's like one jungle camp for the Alk to farm.
Yeah. So far, it's 4 minutes into the game, and there's been no stacks made aside from the one small camp, and I think that's just kind of the entire problem with this game.
Playing around Dota, not around Alchemist.
Because I mean, your Alchemist could die 6 times into this lane, and if he has 3 or 4 camps that have been triple stacked, it doesn't matter.
Agreed. Bounty runes, because Alch is real important. Suicide for it. I don't give a fuck. You have an Alchemist on your team. You got it. Yeah, that's all that matters.
Coming back, I don't know why you're coming back to this bottom lane.
I think coming back to this bot lane is fine if you tell the Alch to go fucking jungle. Like, this guy should be jungling now. I don't know why he's in the lane. He has a soul ring. He should be killing jungle stacks. This is why stacking is good too, because then he'll fuck off and let you lane here.
Yeah, one good thing is that he's level 5. So some good things have happened because he has a level advantage. But at level 5, I'm pretty sure I watched 10 Alchemist replays in the last 48 hours.
They just jungle.
And at level 5, not one of them would be in lane right now.
No, what's the point? You farm faster in the jungle, and then your support can take the lane, and then your support in the lane also defends you in the jungle, because they push the lane, and then you'll see if there's anybody hunting you in your jungle, because they won't be in the lane. So it's really nice having a support in like the adjacent lane. Dumb carry, oh my fucking god, I hate seeing this shit. This is so triggering. This guy's not playing Alch either, he's just playing carry.
Yeah.
This is not how you play Alch.
But I mean, it's kind of on you, because if you were stacking the jungle, click on the camps, and you ping them, and you say, Al, go take these camps. And then he's like, oh, okay, that sounds great.
Yep.
But there's no camps to take. And the rest of your team is just kind of playing regular Dota also, and they're just sitting in their lanes passively, so there's no real space on the map.
This guy should have like 5k net worth by now, honestly.
Yeah, and there's no vision guarding the jungle either, so I think that you could do a lot to make this guy play correctly, whether he's smart enough to figure it out for himself or not.
Yeah, honestly, the only problem here that I'm seeing is this is not an out game. Like nobody's playing around out correctly. It's once again just to
you're
reiterate
pretending that you're playing with like a lifesteal or something.
Just to reiterate the concept, you just stack as many camps as you can. You just don't play the lane like Alk is the most defensive, weakest hero in the game. Period. You will not win lanes with Alk. Period. So you just single pull this shit, maybe double stack it if you're feeling really lucky, because Alk can farm it later, and then just stack stuff for him. Just stack everything for him. Place wards and sentries at the entrance to your jungle. Maybe even two. Maybe you can place one right here scouting both entrances, and then a ward here. Place so much fucking vision around the entrance to your jungle, and just sit on the high ground while your Alk farms, or sit in the lane while your Alk farms, and if they run over to contest him, you run over as well, and you say, fuck the lane. Everything is about this alchemist. That's how you play around Alk. You just make everything about this big narcissistic fat sack of shit.
Yeah, both of the wards that you place in the bottom lane are semi-aggressive, but you're never going to play aggressive with an alchemist until like 20 minutes into the game. So it just doesn't make any sense. I don't mean to be so negative, but everything that you've done in this game makes no sense. Well, considering the context.
Remember, Hockey Laner is like relatively new to Dota too, so he's learning about how. Like, I don't think Alk has been in the meta since, at least not like this, since Hockey Laner started playing. So I know he's going to be stoked to hear how to play around this hero, especially because it's like the best carry and also one of the most picked carries. So knowing how to play around it's important, and then also other heroes that play the same: Medusa, Arc Warden, Anti-Mage, PA with Battle Fury, like these really late game Magnus lineups, like these really late game sort of lineups that you play in the exact same way. So it's not like the skills that you're learning when you're figuring out how to play around Alk. It's not like those skills aren't transferable to other heroes. They are. So it is worth it to learn, even though Alk is obviously going to get hard nerfed after this.
Yeah, but I mean, you just apply it to Sven, you apply it to any Battle Fury carry, you apply it to any carry player on your team who decides to build greedy, which is most of them. And suddenly your game is much easier. You can even apply it to games where you're playing 5 and the rest of your team picks super greedy heroes and they all build Midases. You still approach it the same way. You just ward defensively, you stack camps, and then you put yourself in a dangerous position aggressively so that the other team plays towards you instead of towards your team.
This is why you're ranking up, Donnie. This is why you're ranking up. You didn't say this shit before, I'm telling you. You're getting better. You're getting way better. This is exactly how you play Dota right now. It's like this is the sort of stuff, in my opinion, that like ancient and lower level players don't think about. It's like how to play around different heroes, and it's just like people. And I don't mean that to be rude. It's obviously there are differences between the different skill levels in Dota. It's just that's one of the more common ones where people try to follow the same flowchart every single game. And when you get into the higher rated games, it's like the flowchart will depend on so many different things. People will break it down into smaller little pieces and try to figure it out. I remember like I didn't understand how people played around Medusa and Drow on the same team, because to me it felt like they followed the exact same archetype. So I didn't understand that, and I had somebody explain it to me, and it blew my fucking mind. And it made me understand how teams played around a lot of heroes where you have these kind of like dual carry lineups that a lot of teams seem to be playing around. Like, you could have like Sven plus Ember or something, and or like I don't know, Sand King.
Seemingly too greedy, basically.
Right. It like seems too greedy, but people have essentially figured out how to swing the map and play around the map with farm and pressuring on certain timings and such, where essentially like you can allow it by playing really well. And that's like the thing that made me a better player at that point. Wow, that's really unlucky. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things that I've really come to realize, and why anytime somebody's like, it's so hard to climb as a support, and I just completely disregard that statement, because it's not. You just have to understand what your role is in the game, and most of the time it is.
Most of the time, people aren't understanding what their role is when they say that. Like they don't.
Yeah,
they're not.
exactly.
They're not doing some shit right at all. And
they watch a pro game and they watch like these fives basically just like pull a couple times and then suddenly their carry has 10,000 net worth and is carrying the game. They're like, oh well, clearly, if my carries were good, then I would win games as a 5. But because my carries are not destined to be good in pubs, it's really hard to win games as support. When actually, there's a reason that the carry's 10k net worth, and it's because the 5 made a bunch of space.
All right. We have JCJ next. I will share screen again. So he is, let's see, he is playing Crystal Maiden, laning stage request. Be highly entertaining for everyone. Oh god. I'm working on being more vulnerable when it comes to things I need to develop. As such, this is an extremely embarrassing replay for me. Fucking love that. That is amazing. That is
Good.
So fucking important. I cannot stress that enough. People aren't willing to be vulnerable in Dota, and it makes you so bad. That is the fucking first step, is to say, I'm shit. I hear so many people complaining and whining, and it's just like, you shouldn't feel bad about being bad. I'm bad. Donnie's bad. We're all fucking bad. That's the nature of this game. It's just always developing. And you, in order to be good at Dota, even if you're not learning, you have to be in a learning mindset, because then you are objectively and non-emotionally going to be looking at every single game. Now, how do I actually win this? You will learn and develop within a fucking game. So to be out of that mindset, there's no point in even talking about anything at all. And I think vulnerability is an important word, because in order to be in that learning mindset, it has to fucking hurt, man. It has to hurt. It's not easy. So I love that choice of word. I absolutely love that choice of word, because I think a lot of people want to learn, but it's like they don't want to go through the process of learning. They want the results of learning already without going through the process. You know?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, why are you scared? Why are you scared to be embarrassed for, like, who, Are you afraid that some random person on YouTube is gonna be like, you're bad at this game?
You're
Does that
bad.
actually affect your
You're
life?
so bad at Dota. Fucking Speed Dota is gonna criticize you.
All right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Go ahead and start.
RFX says, how the hell do I deal with something like this other than skilling Frostbite earlier? Instead, I panic skilled Aura twice in a row before I got Frostbite. I was extremely lost in terms of what to do in lane, felt utterly worthless for the first 15 minutes of the game. When the world wants to meme, what are the options to salvage the game sooner? Okay, let's look at this. So it looks like you had a carry Pudge, which is actually not that bad. People are playing carry Pudge in high level games. It's not bad, but it's not that good. Money and skins. Fucking League of Legends, man. What a dumb game. People getting banned for changing the meta. What a joke. What a joke of a game. Okay. Alright, JCJ. First question, did you do your Kegels today? Because if you didn't, I think this is probably a lost lane. Kegels are associated with positive mental attitude and incontinence. Oh, hey, buddy.
I'm back.
So, first critique.
Oh, he's already died.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm sharing screen. Okay, cool. First critique is start with the sentry. If this camp is blocked, you're fucked. Sentry ward the camp before the game even starts. Every single game, you can watch No Tail or Ix Mike or whoever, and they just sentry deward the camp because it's that important.
I also think against the Techies, it's really important that you smoke to the lane and place an observer ward.
That's
Just
a good call.
A little 5 tip. If you're playing against the Techies, you should definitely smoke to the lane and place an obs, because
dude, you're fucked.
You need to keep an eye on where he places mines, I mean, most people go for suicide first, but even in that regard, you want to know where the Techies is. He's like one of those heroes that you just have to keep track of.
Damn, Techies with 45 damage seems good, actually.
It does.
Seems like a legit build.
But yeah, if he goes mines first, you're like, this is great because you just get free last hits basically if you have vision of him. And as a CM, because you're so slow, you have to smoke the lane to place wards, otherwise you're not going to get there in time.
I think this is another one of those situations where you want to like identify. Do you actually want to be down here against the dual lane at level 1? Like, can you fight?
The answer is no, because you have Mirana who's not going to die anyway.
Can you fight the runes? Yeah, like you could be top, set up a kill, and possibly give your Mirana some solo XP down here.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would say like the main point of this lane is just you have this really early game like tempo kind of carry where you should just pull and not take as much of her experience as possible because she could solo this lane if she wanted to. So what the fuck's the point of you being down here if...
Yeah, this is actually one of those scenarios where it's almost better if you just got Frostbite and jungled for like 10 minutes.
I agree. I agree, actually. So, yeah, this is your next step. This thing over here.
Yep.
Sure, you can maybe walk over here and nuke them, be like, all right, that's my contribution for today. Good luck. And then you go pull. But,
nice. Great bait with the creep there that was chasing you around.
Yeah, that was nice.
I'm sure that was 100% intentional.
This is a cool thing, but... I mean, the kill happens because this guy fucking sucks, honestly. I really think, like, you just... If you want to play some consistent Dota, you just go pull. You just go pull this.
Yeah,
this is another one of those situations where you're trying to harass in a lane when the pull is available and the lane is pushed out. So it's just doing the right thing but at an incorrect time. So these kills that you're getting and these deaths that are occurring are not as a result of shitty mechanics. It's because like the lane shouldn't even be here in the first place. You shouldn't even be trying to fight up here. What's the point?
Yeah, I also think another thing that's kind of important to know just situationally is normally you always want to go Nova first, but because you have a Mirana, Frostbite's probably better because you can set it for arrow. And it also allows you to farm while your Mirana solos the lane. So I think that going Frostbite and then maxing out your aura
I honestly think like
is really good.
Pulling this camp and then like stacking this and farming this, or maybe even farming over here and just giving Mirana solo XP. Like as long as you pull the lane back for her, she's gonna be so happy.
Yeah.
So you pull it back, but it's at 2 minutes 30 seconds into the game, and you guys have already died a bunch of times.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, and again, it really doesn't matter what's going on in this lane because, oh my god, this courier. What is this tiny doing? You
definitely do not want to use this courier. Like, you've had 4 deaths down here. That's 4 opportunities to bring out that sentry ward. This is not necessary, and you are cucking this guy. Who?
Yeah, look how much stuff he has.
Dude, look at this guy. Gosh. He's probably so fucking mad at you.
That's when you run down lane as OD.
What rank is this?
This is doing it.
This is let's see. Crusader? That's Crusader?
It's a full party game, so who knows what the average MMR is.
This guy also could have his Wraith ban, possibly. His other Wraith ban.
Yeah.
Also, walking into lane with more regen is super good if you're dying. Like, just bring a salve for this idiot who bought no regen. He's your friend. I shouldn't call him an idiot. Actually, I usually call people idiots because it's just 2 random teammates. But your buddy. So you can't. Never do you want to die in a lane and come back without any regen because you want to make the death worth something. So you make it so that you don't die in the future because you had that death and you have more regen. Like you're actually getting benefit from the death if you bring back regen. I
just don't understand why you're even playing in the lane. Like, you've already been tossed 4 times by Tiny. He's faster than you. He has boots. You're the slowest hero in the entire game, other than Treant. And you keep walking in the lane as if you can't get caught. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, there's a large cucking that we're watching down here. Someone's getting pegged. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think that the correct way to play this game is to go Frostbite and farm the jungle.
I think the same thing is going to happen down here. Mirana's just here soloing. Is she jungling the easy camp? Oh my god, this is such a thing that like lower rated carry players default to, is farming the easy camp instead of pulling it. My god. Yeah, I think the way you play this lane is just you have a really easy solo hero, so you just pull the camp, chain pull the camp, give her solo XP, make sure she gets, if she has a lot of, if she's working at like max HP, she's not going to die to this. The only time she's going to die is like if the lane is shoved out and she's getting like harassed a lot by them, or like walking into mines or tossed. But this is a pretty easy lane actually. Like Techies Tiny is not that strong. It's only strong if you try to fight them.
Yeah, and you're one of the only heroes that can play 5 that can just go jungle. You can just get a bunch of farm, and then you have tranquils, and you've got a bunch of wards, and you do your job way better, and you don't suffer for it at all because your Mirana is a Mirana.
And then as the game progresses later and later against the Techies, you just don't play to the Techies lane. Like you can have one person sit down here and just push the lane out, but at the tower. you don't like walk up in the Techies lane. That's a good way to die. As such.
They're dumping on you.
You just push this and then you go jungle, and then you push this and then you go jungle only from here. And it should probably be you. Honestly, your Mirana should probably be here, jungling this and then like arrowing top and killing top. If your Mirana like refuses to leave the safe lane, then she needs to understand her job is just to you guys are the off lane this game. This is the hardest lane. So you just need to like respond to this pressure in the safest way possible. You don't need to apply pressure. This is one of those situations where the biggest bait in Dota is trying to apply pressure in a game where you're supposed to be the one taking the pressure. So, and I think that's what you guys are doing. You're like walking up and playing this like it's a regular lane. This is a cucking. This is not a regular lane. This is a lane where you're getting dumpstered, and you're supposed to get dumpstered, especially after dying a couple of times at level 1.
Yeah. Also, your carry's in the mid. Your OD is your carry, so try to empower him.
I mean this is a Mirana too. Mirana doesn't really care. Mirana's like, okay, I'm just. She's an offlaner, really. No matter what, she's an offlaner.
You could just smoke mid and frostbite the Zeus, and then your OD kills him.
Oh, Zeus is a freebie, man. I was talking to Z Freak at the Jungle Jam, and he said anytime there's like a sniper or a Zeus mid, he just sits on their dick. Like he just.
Yeah,
if people are gonna pick like a highly, all right, these two wards give the same vision. Oh, wait, never mind, that's a sentry ward. I'm a dumbass.
Sentry.
Okay, and man, with the cosmetics, they look the same. But Z Freak was saying that he just punishes, so this is good, but definitely like 5 minutes too late.
Yeah.
But he's fucked. He's so fucked. This hero is so easy to punish. There's nothing that he can do. You can just keep doing this over and over and over.
Instead of walking this way, now you just walk back towards bot.
No, dude, you walk around. You fucking walk around and do it again, I think, honestly.
No, that's what I'm saying, is you don't walk back across the river, because that means that you might be behind the tier 1. You walk directly towards bot, the direction that you came into that lane, but then you just wrap into the trees and you wait for him to TP back, and then you kill him again.
Right. I can't stress enough how good this play is that you did here. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it until they respond to it. Like, the point of this is not necessarily to get the kill. It's to be like, hey guys, I'm fucking your Zeus in the ass. You have to do something about this. And then Tiny goes mid, and then you say, all right, job done. But until they do that, don't let up. Like, the whole point in killing the Zeus is so that they have to change the map so that it's bad for them. Like, you want to take advantage of the fact that they have to respond to help him, or he's going to have no game. So keep abusing it. If they're bad players and they're not responding to it, then make them.
They don't have heroes to do that. They have a Coddle and they have a Tiny and a Techies.
Tiny or Techies. Like, somebody's going to TP. And if they don't do that, you should keep killing the Zeus. Then you take this tower. And then you don't want to play to the hard lane. There's no point in playing to the hard lane. That's something I cannot stress. If a lane is fucking difficult, just don't go there. All you need to do is have somebody defend the tower, and then you don't try to go up here and play this like it's a regular lane. It's so greedy to try to win 3 lanes in Dota. Like, you just go to wherever is like easy. Like, this shit is so easy. If you play around OD and just make his game good, it's GG. This guy is gonna dumpster.
He will solo carry this game if you give him a good game. Because all he has to do is just press R on the Chaos Knight, and all the illusions and the Chaos Knight die. Because he has like 7 intelligence at level 25.
1.2 int gain.
Yeah.
This guy's missing some chromosomes. Holy shit, is he ever? Oh my god. Yeah, honestly, big mistake playing to this lane. That's the only problem. Is that you're
Yep.
playing to the hard lane, and just because it's your quote unquote lane, as decided by like years of people playing Dota, it's like one of those things that's cemented into our brain that's just wrong. You're not restricted to be here. You can jungle. You can go destroy the Zeus mid over and over. You can go push top. You can go lane top. You can go jungle in the area top and then go for kills. You can rotate between mid and top. Just change the game. If the game doesn't feel this is something I can't stress enough. If the game doesn't feel good with where your heroes are oriented, just change it. Just change it and see what happens. It might be better, it might be worse, but just keep changing it until it's better. The worst thing you can do is stay in like a losing situation.
Yeah, I mean, look, you already made something happen. The Zeus hasn't shown up back to the mid lane.
Yeah, he's dumpster. All right, we've slammed in this one for quite some time, so I think we said some decent stuff. Yo, check this out, JCJ. You like this? You like that, don't you, Donnie? Big D.
10,000 conduct summary. Nice job.
Where? Oh yeah, no, I'm a good boy. Okay. Next we have. I'm surprised my internet has not crapped out from downloading these. That's good stuff. Maybe they fixed that bug. Although, is that a bug in Dota or is it a bug with my fucking life? Oh, this one's not working. GG. This one is from 8/21. So.
Yeah, it's probably too old.
I'm sorry, Vasilios. You know how it is with these replays. Valve, they aren't friends of replay review, that's for sure. So if you wanna, resubmit one next week, maybe something similar, maybe something different. Maybe you just go subscribe to Game Leap. I'm just kidding. Vasilios has been with us for a long time, actually. Doesn't submit that many replays though. Every few weeks. Anyway, next we have Henrik. He says he was Grimstroke. I guess Henrik could be a girl's name too. Got into a game that was maybe a bit out of my league. General mistakes to correct. Okay, so I'm sharing screen, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we're Grimstroke in this game. And oh boy, yeah, you're the you're the lowest rated. Couple of immortals, divines. This guy was the plebeian.
I would say find your immortal player and make his game good. You'll probably win this game.
That's fair. That is fair.
Doesn't matter what role he is, make his game good.
Unless he's a 5.
Yeah.
Then fuck him.
But chances are he'll make your game good if he's the 5.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so we are Grimstroke. Start with Sentry. Good. Dude, I'm telling you, there's a lot of 5 players that like watch Dota content or want replay reviews or coaching sessions. 80% of the people I coach are 5 players.
Yeah, because they're the only ones that are not egotistical.
Right.
So they're open to criticism and they're open to playing 5 because everybody else is just like, nope, I'm playing carry.
That's what I was saying. I feel like 5 players are more humble than it. So, D-word to camp, good stuff. Oh, that's a greedy D-word though. That is a really greedy D-word. I would be careful with this. So if the word's here, you don't get it. If the word's here, you don't get it.
Yeah.
You wanna place this like down here. Funny enough, if you place it down here, you might actually get this ward that they placed. This is a dumb ward though. I don't know what's going on with this, but yeah. This is.
You can also eat one of the trees on the far left side of the spawn box and place the ward there, and it'll deward the entire camp.
Over here.
Yeah, if you eat that tree.
Or you can just do the same thing over here.
Yeah.
There's you can deward the entire camp. I've seen a few games that are ruined by people misplacing wards like this, so I cannot stress this enough. Lucky enough that they didn't ward it. They have this ridiculous ward right behind the tower. Which is kind of cool, but also kind of ridiculous. Because what the fuck vision does this give?
What does that actually do?
I guess they see
what
the
can't even snipe the courier if they see it coming.
Yeah, I guess so. From what we've seen, there's a lot of couriers going to the safe lane these days.
Yeah.
So let's see. So I guess with Grimstroke, the only thing that's really important about the lane is sniping range creeps with your Q. That's all that really matters. You guys are pulling it into your tower, so...
I mean, this is just another one of those lanes where trading is irrelevant.
It's not going to go well for you.
So again...
So this range creep is your job to get that. You want to try to get that.
This boils down to pulling the small camp and splitting it up so your Void can farm. Making the Ogre chase you around so he doesn't harass your Void relentlessly. And then probably going Inkswell after you've maybe traded with them and secured a few range creeps, gotten a couple levels. And then maybe trying to get a kill, but yeah, stack, nice.
Nice. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, this is good.
I don't care that your Void dies. He's an idiot. He should not die.
Yep. Agreed. See, there you go. Now your Ogre's over here, not harassing the Void. You're accomplishing the correct thing.
Good shit, good shit. Beautiful.
This is what I want to be doing as a 5 right now, is just distracting this guy. Your Void should not be here.
And, well, it's fine, because it's fine, like, I mean, he shouldn't, but maybe you can, like, get a kill. I guess, like, you know, you're testing the waters a little bit, and it's an Ogre. It's really hard to kill him, but that's a big reason why pulling is nice, too, because it, like, splits the enemy team up, so you can make decisions where it's like, okay, we're gonna try to get this kill. Whereas in this situation, you're just, like, fucked in the lane, you know?
I don't like buying a stick here, just if we're being very critical about small things. I think this is a lane where you're not going to be in the lane enough to warrant buying a stick, and I think you should just go for boots, because it's going to allow you to do these pulls and move around the map better. But just kind of a small random thing.
I feel like this is a lane where it is acceptable to single pull too and just try to pull through, because they're quite strong. I think Slardar and Ogre. Then again, Grim Void is a strong lane too. It's hard to make the calculations on that though. But after the first wave where you denied the wave of experience, I think single pulling is totally acceptable. Like denying one wave to get the XP lead and then trying to pull through, and then if they come try to contest, you kill them. That's good. Yeah. I know you went for the stack, but the lane was like already shoved out, so I think pulling it back is ultra reasonable. Bounties.
Yeah, this is good.
Wards, drop a safe lane ward. Run to mid lane, drop a mid ward as well. Smoke. Yeah, it's pretty good so far.
I would think about taking a point in Phantom's Embrace at this point, smoking mid with Dust and trying to kill the Clinks. Because the Clinks is their tempo this game. And if you can kill their tempo, then you buy your team a lot of time. And your team is kind of greedy because you have an Axe, an Earthshaker, and a Void, all of which who need space for like 15, 20 minutes.
I'm leaning more and more towards fuck this bot lane. Like,
yeah,
this is not... What's happening here is not good. And something needs to change. So it either needs to be you changing it or Void, or something on the map needs to change. This is not good. Void needs to go jungle and you take the lane, or... You need to go rotate to the Clinks.
Top or mid.
You do have an Axe Willow too, so top is definitely killable.
Yeah, exactly. Although Void's not jungling, so this is fine. Just sit bottom and push out the wave.
I think there's been a lot of deaths in this game that are not necessary for...
Yes. Also, please buy Dust. You're playing against the Clinks. It's like the #1 counter to that hero. Sentries don't work against Clinks because he's too fast.
This game has been super ruined by the Void, actually.
Yeah, the Void's playing really terribly.
I think the play in this game is to have the Void like rotate or jungle while you hold... Like, Grim is one of the best heroes in Dota at holding lanes. You just sit in trees. Like, when you were holding the lane down here bot, you kind of pushed out and were trying to get last hits with your hero. That's not what you want to do. If you're playing against good players, which you are in this game, holy shit, Donnie, you're green.
I'm green?
Yeah, look. Look at the stream. What the fuck? Oh my god, dude.
I am green. It's
toxic. So cool. Anyway, so we've talked about this before, and when I got coaching from CCNC, I was doing the same thing on Sand King that people do on Grimstroke, which is hold the lane, and he told me that I was memeing when I was like running up and stunning and shit. And the story that I always tell is like, if you're sitting bot and holding the lane with Stroke of Fate and getting the occasional last hit and just holding the tower that's meant to go down for the enemy team, you're going to be out farming them. So why try to get more? Why try to walk up and last hit? Why be greedy? Just do your job and just your job in Dota, and you're going to win. Sit in the fucking trees, be a little bitch, and hold the lane while your Void jungles. Now, your Void is getting dove, your Dark Willow had to TP because you died down here, so your Void had to come and you TP top, and now Axe is left alone when he's your hero that's supposed to be pressuring, and the whole map is ruined. All because, I mean, obviously the mistakes are on the other players as well, but who gives a fuck about them? They're not you. It all stemmed from the play that you made where you memed and you walked up and tried to get some last hits when you should really just be... Here, we'll go back to it, because I'm being ultra, like...
I mean, you're a 5. You don't care about your farm. You care about levels. So you should just sit there and
this here. So be in the trees right now. You're last hitting. This is really fucking greedy. You want to just go in the trees, fort the tower to protect it, and use the Stroke of Fate just to push out the wave. It does a lot of damage. And then if they're hunting you in the trees, that's fine. You can go in here, tango through here, or just juke them and waste a lot more of their time and possibly even kill them with a rotation. But the memeing resulted in Void having to run over here to defend the lane from the siege catapult. And then you went top, and then Void gets dove.
And the Dark Willow TP.
And then the Dark Willow has to TP. And all of a sudden the entire map is ruined.
Yes.
So yeah, this shit is...
Now your mid hero's down here dying potentially. It's just a huge mess. Because you were greedy, basically. That's generally what happens though. If you ever get greedy in a game,
and that's GG.
Yeah, legitimately, this game is almost unplayable now.
It's a big mistake. So you're holding the mid lane now, which is good, but you know, just one mistake in Dota, especially at this level and this sort of game, can be extremely game ruining.
And I mean, you can see, like, you guys were in a pretty good spot despite having a bad bottom lane. This Gyro was level 5 at 10 minutes into the game. So their carry is also having a terrible time.
Yeah, he's taking this tower. Imagine if you took this tower and then also held the bot tower. The game is just over.
Yeah.
Because you hold that position for like 3 minutes and you'll have a huge gold lead. Instead, it's like kind of even. Well, they actually didn't get the tower, but that's because they're bad. Okay, now the fucking catapult finally got it. So now the map is even when it could be a lead. You could be leading the map right now in terms of towers.
And you could potentially be like level 8 as well.
Oh yeah, you get so farm doing that shit.
Yeah.
It's insane. Dude, that laptop that you're using is fucking dying.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I like that you're playing around the Axe. I think this is really good. He's the strong guy. And now Axe dies, but who cares? Because you force a bunch of rotations. You get the fuck out. Ah, that's good. This is honestly good.
Fine. I don't think that's bad. You're buying a lot of space for your Void.
Everybody is top. This is honestly fine.
Yeah.
Your Willow should be there too. I don't know what Willow's doing. Willow's jungling.
That's unfortunate.
Guy is jungling while the mid tower is dying. Is he griefing or what? Is this like an actual person's actual attempt at playing Dota, or is he griefing? It's like jungles while the mid tower dies. That's like pseudo griefing, in my opinion.
It seems like he's probably given up, to be honest, because there's no reason for him not to go terrorize mid when Earthshaker's getting dove, unless he just doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, the replay reviews are a Patreon thing. We some weeks we've done chat reviews, but number one, usually people just submit wins and want us to jerk off to them, and then number two, we usually run out of time because lots of people like to get the replays reviewed. So,
yep.
Patreon.com/Dota Alchemy if you want to support your boys. We appreciate it. We love you, especially you, JCJ, you big dick motherfucker. Calculator, you small dick motherfucker.
Yeah, figure it out, Hockey, because you shouldn't be losing so much.
What? What does that have to do with his dick? All right, let's look at our boy Grimstroke. All in all, I don't think you're playing this game that badly though. I really don't think you're out of your element in this game. Like
No,
this does not seem like you're the one that's playing that bad. Your Void's a complete dog shit player. Well, I shouldn't say that. He's having a dog shit game. He's having a dog shit game.
He's not playing well. I wouldn't say that you've helped him that much, but I wouldn't say that you're clearly not a divine player either.
It's just it was a hard lane, and he played as if it was not a hard lane. He was just trying to bully people.
Yep.
And you can now see what happens when you lose all your map control against like Klink Slardar.
Yeah.
You chrono them and kill both of them. I'm just kidding.
I mean, you guys clearly have mechanical skill on this team. You know, you can cast your spells. You have better team fight than them. So.
I would say when you're against a Klinks, you always want like a ward and a sentry at the entrance to your jungle and like high ground. So right here, ward sentry.
Yes.
Maybe right here, ward sentry. You always need to have the combo because then he just walks in and he feeds, and you get 1 million gold because he's their mid hero. So he's worth a lot. He's a free kill. But you have to play around these invis heroes. Riki, Bounty Hunter, Klinks, heroes of Shadowblade, Mirana. They will always walk through ward sentry combinations at the entrance to your jungles. So here would be a decent place to put one if you think that, like a ward as well. Sentry's not really enough. It's just how they want to play the game. They want to like enter into your jungle and they can feed by doing that.
Yeah, I don't think there's any point in placing aggressive observer wards unless you guys are strong enough to actually push out, and you're not. So you should just ward sentry combo all the.
Y'all definitely win the late game though. This is anytime you void, this hero's really good in the late game, and you're also losing.
Dark Willow, Earthshaker, Axe. Like, there's no way that they win team fights in the late game.
Yeah. All right, let's watch this fight. This seems like just a fight to fight.
Yeah, I mean, click on your heroes. What's your Void have? He shouldn't be fighting. 16 minutes and he has nothing. He's level 9 at 17 minutes into the game.
So, playing to this guy is not what you want to do.
No. Yeah, if you have a hero who's having a bad game, you should just run away from them. Because one thing that all Dota players will do is that they will run towards large groups of heroes. So if you can make a large group of heroes away from your
around
host,
this guy who's a fucking god, or this guy who also was a god but has totally fallen off because he's trying to help his team like an idiot.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people ruining their games because this one guy has a ruined game. That's what's happening here.
Yes.
But you want to be playing on their side of the map aggressively with your strong heroes and make space for the Void.
It's sort of counterintuitive, right? Because your Void is technically your late game carry. He's supposed to be your strongest hero in the game at the end of the game. And he's having a really bad game. So you're like, well, we need to be around him to protect him. But in fact, what that does is it just lures the other heroes to that location.
They're going to go kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this guy. This guy's a 1v5ing. You want to play to him.
Yes.
If he was in your jungle, that's different.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that essentially is my thesis on playing 5, and it's been working out very well, is you find the strongest hero on the map on your team, and you just play around them. And that's just how you play the game, because chances are, if they're the strongest hero on the map, and you keep them alive for 30 seconds longer than they should be, or you die for them to stay alive, you probably win the team fight, like 90 to 100% of the time.
Yep. So... Have we done 10 minutes here?
Yeah, I think we're good.
I'm worried about your.
I've got time for like maybe one more.
Your parent situation. Okay, so next we have Approach for Ludicrous and Injective. I will download your replays. I guess will you be doing it next week? I guess I could send you the replays. Ludicrous and Injective. Do you guys mind submitting another replay, or do you want us to specifically download these ones?
I'm sure they don't care, but let's get the replay review. Oh my gosh, I'm so green.
You are ultra green. You are a fucking alien.
Is that better? Nope. Still.
Dude, that laptop's real fucked up, man. I'm so surprised this has not kicked me out of here. What up, UTC Yuan? How's it going? Okay, so let me share with you here. This is Approach, and he says, I was playing Disruptor. Dude, I'm telling you, all of these 5 rolls, submitting replays, man. It's always 5s. Okay, so he says, I'm Disruptor. I rarely play support, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. Just thought that I should have more of an impact around the 30-minute mark. Any tips on itemization or what I should have been doing better in team fights? Okay, so I think if you're not playing a lot of support, you probably fucked up a lot in the laning stage as a 5. But we've already talked about it so many times that I'm glad that you asked about another section of the game. I would, if you're not watching, which I assume you are because you submitted at 6:42 p.m. Maybe you went to bed or something, but I would advise watching the other replays where we talked about 5 laning, because I'm just going to take a wild guess and say the poll was not utilized in the way that it should be, because it almost never is with people that don't understand how to play 5, like playing from another role, or people who are in like the lower brackets. So let's see. So this is Crusader.
Yep.
So let's see. Let's look at
another Techies replay. You shouldn't be here.
Wow. We already talked. We've talked about laning so much on 5. I feel like I don't really want to like reiterate the same shit because.
Nice, lots of sentries. You're playing against Techies, perfect.
Yep. That's your itemization is sentries.
Sentries and boots.
I don't think Ether Lens is good on Disruptor at all, honestly.
I would probably consider playing around your OD in the mid lane there.
Do you want me to go back?
No, it's fine.
Okay. So he wants to take a look at itemization or team fights. So items. My first recommendation would be you like a stick. This is one of the most effective items in all of Dota, and when you're a 5, beggars can't be choosers. Your net worth is absolutely pathetic, as it should be, and that's why a stick is so valued. People don't even go arcane boots anymore. They just go stick, bracer, because you just want the most efficient stats possible so that you're a hero, while also buying a million sentries. So I would say, basically, stick, clarities, bracers. That's your build. Your 900... What was that?
Tranquil boots too.
Yeah, tranquil boots as well. Like very efficient item for being broke. one of the best broke boots, or boots windlays. Tranquil boots are really nice with bracers and clarities.
Yeah, because they allow you to get around the map better, and they keep you at full HP when you're moving between lanes.
You can play fights a lot better too.
I'm also going to guess that you didn't stack enough. You have a OD, you have a Necrophos, and you have a Luna, all of which can take stacks. So very important that you spend a lot of time stacking instead of supporting Luna in the lane.
I do want to say this skill build is not correct either. I think Thunderstrike it's an ability that you want to go for laning. After that, you want to have Glimpse and Kinetic Field maxed out. Like going for Thunderstrike points outside of the laning stage that's kind of like implying that you need more damage. And you have an OD who's like the highest damage dealer in Dota. You have a Necrophos who does an insane amount of damage. You have a Luna who does an insane amount of damage, and then you have a Pudge too who does a good amount of damage with the Blink Dagger. So needing more damage is just not what you. That's just not true in this game. What you need is you need Glimpse and you need Lockdown with this Kinetic Field. So going 2 points in this for value and laning is good, but after that you want to just be more of like a useful hero outside of the laning phase, because like once again we can look at your damage. I assure you that it's atrocious because it should be. You're a Disruptor. Wow, you actually did quite a lot. What the fuck?
Probably because he went for Thunderstrike and put it on people constantly. But if you look at their lineup, they have a Leshrac who's like max movement speed. They have a Skywrath who's max movement speed. They have a Lifestealer who's fast and runs away. They have a Sven who's fast and runs away. So if you have Glimpse, then you
I can't believe you did more damage than your Luna, but he's 3-11, 6-13, 5-9. Oh my fucking god, what a game.
Probably because they couldn't catch anybody because you didn't have enough Glimpse.
Possibly, but Disruptor's not a damage dealer. This hero does not do damage.
No, you're all about control and chasing.
So I want to look at a fight.
Glimpse.
At the Glimpse.
Kinetic Field. Misplaced. That's okay.
I think if you count 1, 2, 3, doesn't it just glimpse to where they were standing when you start the count? Or 4? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
I always heard my roommate doing that when we played Dota together right at the start. When I started playing, he'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then glimpse. It's like, fuck it, Ian, I can hear you, man. I can hear you counting.
That's funny. Also, the fact that you're pushing against the Techies with no sentries on your inventory is.
Oh yeah, you don't go into this lane. You just
you should say back. I don't have sentries. Leave. If your Necro dies there, it's his fault.
So.
I think you're playing around the wrong hero this game. You should just be around your OD. Your OD is going to carry you until Luna's strong.
This shit that's happening here is a result of not like pressing your buttons incorrectly. It's like shouldn't even be here in the first place. You have a Pudge jungling, you have an OD mid showing, you have a Luna top showing. So they see 2 of your cores. They see 2 of your cores in 2 separate lanes. They cannot get to you. So being down here is terrible because they're going to go on you and they should kill you if they're not bad.
Yep.
There's a lifestealer in this guy. Why is he not getting out? Oh, is there a lifestealer? Oh, there's not.
It's a bug.
Okay, well, still.
Yeah.
This in being behind this Necro is allowing him to push forward and make a shitty decision. Like you're letting your guy do something stupid by being down here with him.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've no T. Now you're fucked. Oh my god, approach. But it's just you never want to play 3 lanes in Dota. Past the laning stage, playing 3 lanes is a death sentence. So if you see 2 heroes showing, you say, okay, even if I wanted to push this, even if I had sentries, it's not happening when you have 2 people showing in other lanes. If the enemy team is good, they will kill you.
Go buy TPs. Why are you running away from the side shop? You haven't had a TP in your inventory for like 6 minutes. That's completely unacceptable as a 5.
Your team is actually farming pretty well.
Yeah, you guys should win this game. There's a Techies in the other team. They don't have they don't have any team fight. If you guys don't take really dumb fights, I think you win this game.
So I would say that there's this issue where you're not using your static storm with kinetic field, which is in large part due to the fact that you have kinetic field at level 1, so the cooldown's really long and it doesn't last long at all. So if you max this out and then you use it in pair with your static storm, you're gonna do a lot better. Also, like this situation, this is just straight up like you need to play more disruptor. That's the bottom line here with this. Is like I mean I can look at this and tell you what you should have done, but anybody can do that. Anybody can tell you why would you glimpse and then put the field down and then static storm without the field. Like you're just pressing the abilities in the wrong order. But
yeah,
you could be a fucking 1K player and look and tell you that. But what I want to tell you, which actually gives you value, is just that
positionals.
You need to just play this hero more to mechanically like understand how you press the abilities.
You should be rushing either a Force Staff or a Glimmer Cape, not an Aether Lens, because your team needs one thing and they need defensive capabilities. And either Force or Glimmer will completely counter the entire other team. Like 100% counter them.
Ether Lens is kind of a dog item, honestly, just in general. Like it gives you nowhere near as much value as like a Force or a Glimmer for the exact same cost. Like this hero already has these ridiculously long range abilities. Like you don't have a problem getting your shit off, and you would much rather, like, dude, Glimmer gives you invisibility. That alone is crazy. That's like a spell people have. Ricky has like an invisibility spell. Bounty has like an invisibility spell. Clinks, like you just get an invisibility spell when you have no invisibility spell on your team. That's fucking broken. A targetable invisibility spell. Or like basically a blink that works without, like the Force Staff is like a targetable blink. Or you can get an Aether Lens, which just makes the same abilities that you can already cast castable. It doesn't do anything. It's nowhere near as much value.
Glimmer allows anybody that's used on to escape from at least 4 of their heroes unscathed.
Or Force as well. They have a bunch of single target.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this ether lens is like an easier item to use, yeah, but it increases your hero's effectiveness by like 5%, whereas like a glimmer increases your effectiveness by like 200%. It's
and now
ridiculous.
you're typing in all chat to the other team complaining about your strongest hero on your team for some reason. pretty questionable sequence of events that I just watched.
Alright, Sangtoy. This guy's debating you. Yeah, itemization, definitely ether lens. Massive waste of gold. You get it and nothing changes in the game. I guarantee you nothing will change.
Yep.
You could survive this with a glimmer. I guarantee you with the glimmer you survive, or a force staff.
I promise you that nobody on the other team has any form of protection for this entire game.
Like, you can force this guy out, you can glimmer him and he doesn't die here.
Yep.
Or yourself.
Yeah, your Odie's carrying you.
Finally going for a glimmer, but after 3,000 gold of net worth, more than that, 3,500 gold of net worth spent on a second pair of arcane boots and then an ether lens, which has proven to be completely useless.
Yeah, if you actually think about it, having a tranquil boots is better than an aether lens
because it gives you the positioning.
Essentially gives you the same thing, right? But it gives it to you way faster, and it's also way better in terms of allowing you to move around.
This guy's debating so hard. Oh my god, you are... Dude, your camera's fucking up real bad. Damn, there's some hate in this game. I've seen many Tide games with Stout Shield. Does it work with Kraken Shell? No, but if you lose the game at level 1 because you don't have a Stout, doesn't matter how good Kraken Shell is.
Yes.
So finally you have a Glimmer, but it's like 35-minute Glimmer Cape when you could have had it at 20 minutes into the game.
Yes.
And you could
also, what talents did he take? Yeah, those are both wrong. Cast range is acceptable, but the Thunderstrike damage is terrible. You want the health.
Health and bracers makes you so... And you're actually so valuable if you're like a CM or a disruptor with like a health talent and like 3 bracers. You walk in, you're legit a tank. And then you get all your spells off.
And you survive, and you get off 2 or 3 rounds of spells, and you just
it's so good. It's so good to have the enemy team focus you with all of that HP, and you've used all your spells. Like, they use everything on you, you still don't die. It's fucking great. It's amazing.
Yeah.
40 Thunderstrike damage. Once again, like, you have an OD, which does 10 billion damage. You have a Luna, which does 10 billion damage. She even has a Yaja and Kaya. Like, these heroes all do insane amounts of damage. Cast range is fine. GPM is fine. I think the build's probably 200 health. Cast range or kinetic field. Kinetic field seems pretty good, honestly. 4.4 second duration. So that would be a 1.6 second downtime?
Downtime, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy good.
That's really good.
That's pretty
Especially
nice.
considering your whole team just needs you to hold people in place for them to win the game for you.
Yeah, it seems good. But gold per minute, fucking insane thing to get, period. Kinetic field duration. Wow, that seems really good. Oh my god. 10 second glimpse cooldown.
Especially with a Luna Ags.
Yeah, that's nuts. Permanent kinetic field.
Yeah.
Crazy. Anyway, I think we've talked about enough good stuff in this one. There's been quite a lot that you can improve on. Jesus, Donnie. All right, Donnie is dying, so we are.
I'm gonna take off.
This is a good time to. Dude, look at your... Oh my god. I've never seen a camera fuck up like this. That looks insane. Okay. So, that's it for this week. Anything else to say, Donnie? We have 2 that we didn't do. Ludicrous and Injective. I'll make sure to mention them. I'll message
Just
them.
tell them to submit another one next week. We'll get to it for sure. And thanks for tuning in.
All right, guys. See you in the next one. I love you. Donnie loves you. Patreon.com/Dota Alchemy if you wanna. Holy shit, Donnie! How is it living in the pits of hell? You fucking demon. All right, we're out of here. Peace out, guys.